I wasn't going to speak of idiots. I was going to say speaking of. Well, I could have went either way then.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a gay spook. Press play, Terry. Okay. I wasn't going to speak of idiots. I was going to say speaking of. No, okay. I thought I said that.
You're an echo.
No, I did
So
press.
I just had to check that I'd muted the YouTube live stream.
Yeah, I didn't press the mute again. Bloody thing. I wish it'd stay automatically muted. Uh, Go where, Terry? Oh, I didn't think of that one. I didn't think ahead for that. Sorry, John. Uh, so what's this story I heard about the peanuts, John?
Oh, leave me alone.
Well, they need to know.
Oh, harvesting peanuts in Kingaroy.
Okay.
Righto.
So they're going to be picking on the peanuts.
Yeah, mate.
Okay. Now, John said, "Careful, Terry. We idiots can hear you now." And no peanuts. We haven't got a story tonight again. I didn't do my homework, so we'll get back to that. I forget if we finished off with Shackleton or we still had any more to do with him. I thought we still had to, because he hadn't got on his little boat.
No.
He's got to get on
No,
the little boat.
I think we got to the point. No, I think he might have got on one of the lifeboats, but that was about it. I don't think it actually started.
No, we hadn't got to the bit what happened to him after he got on the little lifeboat.
Yeah, hadn't started that epic voyage of his to go and find help.
Yeah, that's what we're up to.
Mm.
What's Paul doing?
Typing.
Yeah,
Oh, is that what it is? Is it a clue?
Yes.
So the person's O something H. And we're going to get a clue soon. Any second now.
Don't pressure him. When he's good and ready.
Well, I said any second. Well, I could have said any minute. Here we go. Scientists of the day, O something H, is considered to be the father of nuclear chemistry and was I know I always hear that debate and was a spokesman against the development of nuclear weapons after World War II.
OH.
Ah.
I know it is.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, Ball just said the same
well,
word.
I'll tell you now, it's not Oppenheimer.
It's not Oppenheimer. Okay.
It's only 5 letters.
It's not Oppenheimer, no.
No, that's what I was thinking. How can it be Oppenheimer when it's O something H?
Well, I suspect the first word's going to be Otto.
Well, John Stock just gave it.
Because I can't think of many other.
John, you're not supposed to give me the clue, the answer.
Oh, Jesus, sorry.
Unless his name was Ollie.
Yeah, John got it right. And so did Clive Wells out in the chat. Very well done.
Oh,
yeah.
Otto Holtz, for some reason, comes to mind as well.
No, it was Otto Hahn.
And it sounds like he was one of the many German scientists that America adopted.
Don't mention the
Possibly.
Don't mention what I did, but I think I got away with it. Yes, there was quite an exodus of German scientists sort of prior to the Second World War, wasn't there? Quite a few of them sort of got out before it all hit the fan, so to speak.
He was also a spokesman against the persecution of the Jews too.
Everyone say good day to Gary. Gary's out in the peanut gallery.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, Gary. Yeah, it's not flat, Gary.
No, he didn't say it
Yeah.
today. He just said good day, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
good on him.
Yeah.
Good day, mate. Goodbye.
I guess quite a few of the better German scientists managed to get out of that place before the World War II really got going.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
And then, of course, at the end of the war, we all went back and said, "Yeah, we'll have you lot as well. Thank you very
Yeah,
much."
That's what I knew about that.
Hell,
bit.
Yeah, but no,
Oh.
pre-war in the 30s, yeah, a lot of them were.
there were a few that didn't, though. Heisenberg, for instance.
No, that's true. Yeah, I think he felt a bit uncertain about it.
Well, Heisenberg's problem was he just couldn't make up his mind.
No, he couldn't. He couldn't.
Okay, I'll stop.
I'm sorry. That's the best we can do today.
I'm sorry, Lord, for making the bad Heisenberg joke. I'll go on mute.
Oh dear.
But there were a few, like Fritz Haber, that actually didn't want to leave and actually were active in developing chemical weapons for the Germans.
Yeah, I mean, they still had a nuclear program, didn't they? An atomic program.
Heavy water stuff.
Heavy water in Norway and trying to build a reactor and all sorts of things they were trying to do. But of course, most of their top scientists in that field had already sort of flown the coop. Now, the fact they're all busy doing other things as well. I mean, I think that's what scared the Allies at the end of the war, is they start finding what the Germans had been working on. The stuff they'd been putting their effort into and coming up with was quite frightening. But I think there was also, it didn't help them because they were just working on, somebody would have an idea. Yeah, let's try that. Let's do this. Let's do that. They were just trying and doing everything, absolutely everything.
Yeah, but which person in the hierarchy, so to speak, of the Germans was the ones who were wanting all these tests and experiments and scientists to do these things?
Well, certainly the higher echelons of the Nazi Party and the military, they wanted new stuff. They wanted new weapons and all sorts of things, because I don't think
the thing is that some of it was so new that they didn't understand it, and so they didn't really go ahead with a lot of it because literally they couldn't understand or comprehend the nature of it. Yeah.
But certainly from the military point of view, everything that we now see being used these days, the Germans had developed them in sort of 43, 44, 45 already. Stealth technology, the stealth technology that the Americans use now, a lot of that is based on what the Germans were doing. They knew that if you build aircraft out of composites, i.e. wood, it had a very low radar signature, and if you put certain stuff in the glue that held it together, it would help not reflect the radar signal. They're doing that sort of thing today. The Germans already knew about it. It's quite. You look at some of the stuff they're developing, it's quite scary just how far ahead they were of everybody else.
Well, I was thinking of doing a bit of a series on technologies once we got past World War I and into World War II.
Well, yeah, and World War One again was the industrialization of warfare. It was all new technologies. Prior to World War One, aircraft, tanks, submarines. It was all relatively new stuff.
I think we touched on the first tanks. I'm sure we did. Oh, you might have been talking about them. The
you know, the use of chemical weapons.
the failures of the designs that they had. Ones with those big wheels on it, and they went to go through a trench, but the back wheels got stuck. Because they were only little.
Yeah, that was there to help steer the tank, and then they realised that actually they didn't need them, so they took them off. But yeah, but for what they were designed to do at the time, it was groundbreaking technology. Nobody had ever done anything like that before.
No. Submarine predates World War One. Okay, Clive.
Yeah, but it does, but it had never really been used in any great anger, shall we say. And the very earliest submarines, I mean, a bunch of blokes hand cranking a shaft inside to propel the submarine. The American, I think, the Hunley. You don't get much more primitive than that. All right then, lads, keep going. Ramming speed.
They were using bell divers as well, weren't they? Before that.
Yeah. But yes, unfortunately, it seems we get really innovative and come up with really clever ideas when we're trying to kill each other.
But that's not how things should work, I think.
No, it's not, but unfortunately.
Well, it's necessity's the mother of invention, but then again, killing each other's not.
No.
What's this, Sean? Rachie parrots everything. Sleepy says, made a video calling FEE a liar.
Well, yeah.
We know Craig might misconstrue things sometimes and get things wrong a little bit.
That must be the video that she's put out this morning then, after coming being runner up in the top left award. Ahead of Sleepy.
Yeah, okay.
Because he was third.
Yeah, I do have
but that's what they do. If they can't explain something they're being shown, by the likes of Craig or Blue or anything like that, then they have to call them liars because reasons.
Yeah, but just calling somebody a liar's got no credit.
No, that's what they all do. They call them liars, and that's the nicer of the names they get called, I'm afraid.
Yeah, and don't get triggered. You're getting scared now.
Am I?
Well, that's the way the things that they come back at you with. You're getting scared or you're getting triggered.
Oh yeah, and they do that whilst you're talking to them in somebody's live stream. All right, don't get excited. And it's like, dude, I'm barely awake. How can I be getting excited? They go, all right, calm down. It's like, what do you mean, calm down?
Did anyone watch the thing? Is it only Fight the Flat Earth that did the top left award?
No, you've got Fight the Flat Earth, MC Toon, Ranty, and Mr. Sensible.
Okay, I'm just seeing if I've got something a bit shorter than Fight the
No,
Flat Earth.
I didn't actually watch it because I think it started at midnight, and I was like, no, I'm going to bed.
I can't find anything from Mr. 42. I'll have to go to his channel and see if I can find it.
Oh, excuse me.
How long ago would you have done
slightly
it?
ahead of the
Because I've only got Flying Spaghetti Monster is the reason for the Big Bang.
Ah, yes, Mr. 42, I think, has been suffering recently.
Oh, okay.
I think.
And who else did you say? MC Toon.
MC Toon, yeah, and Mr. Sensible. Mr. Sensible has been away on holiday, and then I think they all came down with COVID. Which is like typical.
No, I just wanted to
But yeah,
pick
he's
a,
back.
I just wanted to pick a bit of that top left award thing. Um,
Yeah, like I say, I didn't watch. It was too late for me. I was too knackered.
yeah. I'll try MC2 and see if he's brought out a short for.
I'd be surprised because it was only Christ, it was 13 hours ago it streamed. So
There's the second challenge that was 7 days ago. What's Up brings no evidence again 3 days ago. First distort video to prove Flotopia 1 day ago. So that's all McToon's got. Otherwise we're going to have to skim through. Where's why the flat Earth's gone? Few Everett Andersons, few Simon Dans. Scott Manley did one similar to.
yeah, because I don't think we did Simon down last Saturday, did we?
No, we missed out on. Oh, here we go. There's the Fight the Flat Earth one. We'll watch a little bit of that after this. And Hello Wonderful Person did something the same as Scott Manley's one. So Anton did. Where is it? Is it more recent? No, it wasn't his last one. I think it was one before that. Where is it? Oh yeah, Hubble finds the most distant star in the universe.
That was it.
And it's super something. It's only 28 billion light years away.
Is that all? That's just round the corner.
That's not far. Considering the speed of light, and that's how far away it is. I'll get ready for Lindsay.
Good old Lindsay.
Hint, hint.
Peanuts, this is your Lindsay warning.
Oh, I better shut
You
those.
have been fair warned. It's not our fault. Don't blame us.
It's like on the TV when you regularly schedule programs not on and they put something else on instead.
Yeah.
Is this PG, is it? Parental guidance?
Lindsay.
Can you hear John? Because I can barely hear him.
He's very quiet.
Parental guidance, PG, is it?
Just trying to think what it would actually be. FPP guidance.
Oh, right.
Face palm protection guidance.
Yeah, Elmings has gone to get their oven mitts.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Well, I'll need to go and make another cup of tea, so I'll get my oven mitts as well.
Yeah. Grab that. Move yous over there, out of the way.
Oh dear. Boobies.
Where? I'm not even looking over there yet.
Well, it could be. I'm not sure.
Oh, down there. Yeah, where's Professor Phil lately? I haven't spoke to him for a while. As Zeblon said, I'll be right back. I have to go dig a ditch.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got a wall to go and paint or something. Yeah, I'll be back. Yeah.
I've got to go and mow the lawn or something.
Yeah.
I'm no fan of Fight the Flat Earth, but I called him a liar whilst parroting one of the biggest lies on YouTube. Seems pretty disingenuous.
Yes. Yeah, for Rachel to call him a liar is just like, really? I mean, well, I mean, hypocrisy is part and parcel of the flat earth as well, you know.
Yeah, well, I don't really listen to him in his responses to what he's when he's talking with someone so much as just you have your own opinion of what you'd respond to, what the other person's saying when he's doing his like debates or whatever he wants to call them.
Yeah, the problem with Craig is that sometimes he does get things wrong.
Mm.
You know, he's there to have a blazing row with somebody for entertainment purposes, but I think sometimes he just needs to slow down and think a little bit about what he's saying, because he does quite often make mistakes, but
doesn't that look bad? Doesn't that make everyone else look bad or whatever? Because then,
well, this is one of the tactics that flat earthers use. If somebody on our side says something, then surely all the rest of us must be in total agreement with him. Well, no, your opinion may vary just because somebody like Fight the Flat Earth says something, because he's on the same side as us, doesn't mean to say we necessarily agree with what he said. But he said it, so it must be true. What? Why?
oh look, what was it? Simon or Conspiracy Cats that put out a video to say that he said something wrong or whatever there a while back. I forget who it was.
I think it might have been
It was
Simon.
one of the two. It was one of the two.
But that's the difference. These debunkers, if they say something wrong in a video, that they either correct it after they've recorded it, but before they've rendered it, because sometimes that's easier, or they'll put a pinned comment to the video saying, "Oops, yeah, sorry, I've realised it was this instead of that." Or if it's that egregious, they will actually put out another video going, "Silly me.
Yeah.
Yes, I hold my hand up. I made a mistake." But when does a flat earther ever do that? Well, they don't,
Yeah, but
because they never
with
get
people picking on Craig for saying things wrong, but Craig, I don't think Craig does puts anything to say that he
doesn't.
something.
No, he doesn't bother.
Mm.
Yeah, he's not the most reliable source. The most.
Oh, Sean's saying, this is to do with Rachie, is it, Sean? She made a video showing an oval and said it looked like a perfect circle. I've made that video.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
Righto. I've got it on Lindsay's feed. Sorry, Blue?
I think I debunked that one that Richie did.
Yeah.
How long ago would that have been?
Oh, I don't know.
That was a while ago.
I can go back and look. I think we played it though.
Yeah. Was that something she did on a
sure
table or something? There was something put on a table.
It was.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. She had some kind of crazy thing.
Oh, they get some weird ideas in there.
I can find it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Conspiracy Cats put out a retraction. After he called Arwen boring. So he put out an Arwen highlights reel. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah. No, we're not here to judge. Well, that's the way I feel anyway. Oh, here's Lindsay.
I am.
Yeah, but I was just going to say, we're going to put up with Lindsay now. Press play.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Pause. He's wrong already. He's not even on the screen.
He's not said a word yet.
Yeah, no, he hasn't said a word yet. He's wrong already. Only 3 seconds in. That's a record.
Welcome guys, welcome to another video of Flat Earth Philosophy. Go over a few things today. I just thought I'd mention I'm in a bigger house now in this room here. It's so big compared to my last video room. I feel exposed. Anyway, and also we're going to be released over here in New Zealand from all those masks, mandates and all the BS that went with it. So I'm finally going to get a real haircut after the 4th of April, I think. Anyway, right, just following on from my last video, if you haven't seen it, you might want to check it out. This is the world first. This is the magnetic field of a
that's right, the magnet. That's right. How many poles does the magnet have?
3 vortices. basically an analemma, because the same thing, it's associated with the flat Earth. The analemma, you see the curving, see how the curving magnetic fields match the sun's
I
analemma?
don't think it means what you think it
I've
means.
always drawn this picture.
Yeah.
How the magnetic field's curved, looking down on Earth. That's what it looks like. Is the curve matched?
What, you actually
Matches.
see that visually?
You've got to go deep to understand this, but that's the third entity. You could just say that's your one sun's analemma, which we have all been led to believe just comes down into
Yes,
here,
John
into the
Rapp.
tropics,
You've been playing on your
Yeah.
calculator again.
which it does because everything reduces down to one man's own arc of horizon. Okay, and that's how he'll see it, within his arc of horizon. Every man has his own arc of horizon. We'll talk about that as we go along, okay? So this is the actual
Well, Sean,
field of the magnet.
these
You
are
have all been
Kiwis.
fooled by
Mike
science.
Mitchell's Australian.
It doesn't go like this. This is utter bullshit. Just like Earth doesn't do that. It doesn't go from one end of your ball to another end of the ball. It meets here. It shoots down here, and it shoots down here. Goes below the Earth.
Did he say
See,
shits or
This
shoots?
is one side, a positive, negative, positive, negative. So it'll come up over the Earth, down, through the Earth, and up again. So it works.
No, it doesn't.
No,
Okay?
I'm positive.
A flat Earth has the same system, and so does the human brain. If you do not understand how our flat Earth design works,
Is he modelling
you
it
will
after
never
his
understand
brain?
the meaning to life, and our man's brain is a fractal of the Earth's design. Earth's magnetic field is the sun's analemma, but it has a third
No, it's
entity, the Trinity, and so does man. It's finding that. It's basically
How do you
the
know,
third eye.
John? You've
It's
been
finding
looking
that place.
to compare.
Enlightenment. Finding the light between the two eyes. The third entity, third eye. Now, about stars. Hot and cold is pressure. Let's talk about the firmament, okay? Atmosphere. Hot and cold is pressure, based on pressure and frequencies within these pressure zones, within the noble gases. And frequencies is light. All come about as the same thing, part of the same. In our atmosphere, firmament of layers, noble gases, etc. When a bubble bursts, the pressure difference causes an audible pop, which is frequencies. Frequencies.
What was that?
No,
Where do you get where did you get an audible pop from?
I've got to listen out for thunderstorms now.
Yeah.
Thunderstorm on the way.
Yeah, that's it. And don't forget that creates more gases, more what was it he said last week?
This is basically what
That's the way
stars
to
are
control hurricanes and cyclones. Just pop them.
doing, but on a daily basis. Science says they burst billions of years ago.
Peanuts
That's
can't
pure
see you,
BS.
farmer.
They wake up every night due to day and night pressure difference. And why it is written that one day in heaven is 1,000 years on earth.
Wow, there you go.
A 12-hour pulse, on, off, the earth's pumping again, like daily tides, up and down, monthly moon cycle, in and out, yearly seasonal change of the magnetic field, down and out, up and in.
Hey,
The
Carl.
sun follows it, up and in.
Mr. Edwards.
When we go back to
In
sun
and up,
man,
up and down.
the
Which
sun-
way is
sun
he going?
It's always the same distance from man, because it's always on your arc of horizon. And it's always the furthest of any object, because everything is light, and the sun is made up of all the frequencies. So it has to be last all the time.
Is everything light?
So you can't say the sun's 3,000 miles away. It's it's on your horizon. Your horizon can be 5 miles to 200 miles, depending if there's any images in front of the sun.
Why can't it be
Because everything is
closer,
light.
Lindsay?
If there's any other image in front of the light, then the sun gets pushed behind it, because the sun is always behind all the other frequencies. It's pure white light is all the light spectrum, all the frequencies. So it's always behind any object. So if there's nothing in front of it, it's just coming up over the sea, say, or going down, then it could be like 5k away until another object appears in front of it. So if you think it's 5k away, When a boat comes along, it's 100k away, if you can see that far. The sun's put back behind it. It's just the way it works. The sun is always the same distance from man at all times. No matter what the season, no matter what, it's only got one arc and it doesn't change. The man's arc does not change. The sun is always on and up and over on that arc. Its frequency, its energy will vary, but it doesn't change its distance from the observer. Sun's movement around Earth. You've got to realise the sun is in here. It's turning 24/7, 15 degrees per hour. Right in here. We see its reflection out here. So as this turns, it's going like this, isn't it? So if the sun's in the middle here, it's tucked in the Milky Way.
We don't see the sunlight.
It tilts 23.5 degrees for the northern summer solstice, and it goes all the way down to 23.5 degrees to the southern hemisphere solstice. This is declination. It'll do this, but the sun itself isn't actually doing this. It's the magnetic field of Earth pumping up and down over the year. It's a seasonal change. It follows the magnetic field. See the magnetic fields? See? This if you take photos of it midday every day, you get this hammer thing going on. But anyway, so the sun is just turning in here. It's not changing. It's just doing it same time all the time. And some mythological stories that explains it. It's very boring. It's not going anywhere. It stays there, just turns. And so because of the declination, the magnetic field is going up and down, the sun's image will be seen further out south for the summer solstice, then comes back up and in for the northern solstice.
Has Lindsay ever tried to explain eclipses or anything yet? Or I don't think he has.
So it doesn't slow down or speed up out here. It's like a clock. It's 1 o'clock here. If it's 1 o'clock here, it's still 1 o'clock there, isn't it? As it goes like this. So a lot of planet just don't even realise that. As the sun comes in for the northern hemisphere summer, comes in around here, instead out here, it's still 1 o'clock there as it is 1 o'clock there, and it's even 1 o'clock out here. Still there. Actually bear in mind, all the magnetic fields are curving, so time may curve like this, do you see? So it's not a straight line, because it's curving, isn't it? It could be 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, it's like that, you know. So that's the sun out of the way, right? Got that?
No.
It's not 3,000 miles away,
No.
or anywhere around there.
No.
Or arc of horizon could be 5 to 200 miles, that's it. Depending on what's in front. Okay, we got lost here. This is basically what stars are doing, but on a daily basis. What did I get to here? Science says they burst billions of years ago, but that is BS. They light up every night due to day and night pressure. Read all that? I've done all that, haven't I? Okay.
What, stars only light up at night? Okay, that's a new one.
Well, obviously, because you can't see them during the day, somebody switched them all off.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Might be solar powered.
Well, then you come up here to the stars. Stars are releasing light from the excess energy they gained from the sun's energy of the day. They expand and resonate during the day and then contract back at night to a choke point of energy.
nice.
Once again, we have
Holy
pumping
joy.
out and in and out. The
In
stars,
and
they come
out. In and out. Out and in.
Imagine a bubble, they come out and they're resonating to the heat of the day because they expand, and then they contract back into, all their energy is contracted back into a choke point, just like the Earth system, just like Big Daddy the
So is he
Earth.
saying they're like the
It's got a
glow in the
choke point
dark
in here.
stars you stick on your ceiling?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
The forces create the sun. It's all related, like a magnet. Everything scales down, scales up. Earth being the max. The Arctic 24-hour sun. Once you realise the sun is not an object, but a focal point of its frequencies in the plasma field, you may start to understand
What does
every
that
man
mean?
has his own image of the sun on his own arc of horizon. As you approach the Arctic,
I like how he
you are
reads
nearing
stuff that
the
he writes
centre
and then tries
of
to work
creation.
out how to interpret
So the
what he
sun is
writes.
seen all around you
Yeah.
at the
He
solstices.
bloody wrote it.
So then it takes us back to here. Earth is a dual image. One over there, which is this, looking down on Earth. One is looking down on Earth, and one is being...
From where? How could you look down on Earth from where,
In it
Lindsay?
is relative to the observer, and it is a mirrored image, parabolic mirrored image. So you have to understand this. You need to understand the L image. Yeah. It's going deep. It's really hard to explain, but like I say, relative to the observer, in it. It's bigger out here than here.
He can't explain what he wrote there.
Don't notice this. Hard to explain. But the thing is, just seeing the sun go around you. Well, you're out here, aren't you? In the world, you're out somewhere out here. So you can't see the whole sun go around you because you're outside the centre. You've come out here. You can't see the other side of the world. You're not going to see the sun going around over the other side of the world. But if you're near the centre here, you'll see the sun go around you.
Yeah, but what if you're on
Realise
the
the south is the same,
Lindsay?
because it's the mirrored image, magnetic field. It's the toroidal field. It's
I've got to put that magic word
I've got it
toroidal.
on my mind.
Mm.
But this is what they tell you on a spinning
He
ball.
keeps pointing to the centre one, but he's not
But it's
going
not
to
like
the
that, it's not a
where's
ball.
the south pole
We'll
24
do
hour
that
sun?
some other
Lindsay?
day. I'll try and break it down a bit more, because I've got it on my mind right now. We've been over all that. Yeah, well, just... Yeah, so you have to realise every man has his arc of horizon. And the north will be seeing things like this, the south is going like that. So there you have it, this here, okay? But the northern image, the southern image. Northern image, southern image. That's the way it works.
Don't look like that.
Wrapped all that up pretty fast. Yes. Now, I
Is it
did a
just
video
all but?
about
Yeah.
missing moon phases a while back, and they're showing my videos in Japan, and I saw it, and I was shocked to see I had all the phases the wrong way. I don't know how or why. I've always said in my other videos that the sun is there, the black hole's here. The sun is always projected across the black hole, because the black hole's the amplifier of everything. This is how it runs, amplified from the dead centre here. You can't see the black hole in front of the sun, can you? But there's the hole. It's like this. It's not like that. It's like this. And I'm going to put the moon phases, full moon out here. The full moon is behind the sun. It's the back of the sun with a Milky Way
What?
behind it. The sun's stuck in the Milky Way. So the moon is behind. And the next video is going to be about the moon phases.
Hang on a minute, how does the moon
Hopefully
get behind the
people
sun?
understand it.
Yeah.
I think I must have got a few people confused with those stupid video of mine. I'm saying one thing, I've got this video showing it all the other way around.
Oh dear.
Anyway, it's mind blowing how that's connected to this. The Trinity, the third eye of man, understanding flat earth, understanding life. It's all here. Keep following this channel. Thumbs up, subscribe, share. We're watching out for the moon phases. Cheers everyone.
No, you haven't explained the two boobies yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hanging out for that. Jeez, crikey.
Oh.
What does my brain hurt every time I watch Lindsay? Oh, John's going. John's going. I'm confused.
I now know what powers the orb of confusion in the SpongeBob SquarePants videos. The orb
I'd
of
like to-
confusion just spouts Lindsay. That's it.
I'd like to quote Mr. E.M. Gumby here. My brain hurts.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Let's do it properly. My brain hurts. I couldn't be bothered to try not to.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, good grief.
Yeah, don't go above and
Oh,
beyond.
bollocks. Oh dear.
That was some derp.
Well, this is the double owl, and it's hard to explain, so I won't. I'll just leave it there for you. What?
Oh, even Dell made it to the top left award. There's a video of him in Fight the Flat Earth video.
Oh yeah, there were so many nominations for that.
I'll share it, and I won't play all of it because
Hmm.
we'll be here for.
Well, even FTFE was nominated. I think he came 10th.
It'll actually show the list of it. That's the thing. Oh, wait a minute. What do I got here? I don't know what that is. I didn't watch it, so I got no idea.
I didn't. I went to bed. Oh, thank you, Elmig. Yes,
Oh,
I can do it.
Everyone go. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Don't you, Bob?
Hang on. Keep going. I'm going to do a proper Gumby.
Okay. Oh, that guy. That guy was a strain, I tell you.
Yes, some of them have. Yeah, some of them are really hard work to watch.
Can't think of his name off the top of my head. Just them talking a lot. Oh, there's you know who?
Mallory. Yeah, I just don't find that funny at all. Oh, there we go. You got to have the knots in the corners.
Oh, you definitely got to. That's it.
I'm not going to roll my trousers up, and I haven't got any Wellington boots, so I can't pull it off properly.
Oh, the old laser videos where they tried to do stuff.
Oh, the one in the fish tank where Matey Boy gets, there's something wrong with that laser.
Yeah, this one looks like they're doing it outside.
Yeah, that was wasn't that one of FE Core's experiments?
Yeah, I think that was FE.
And they do actually, and you know, in their video you can see that the laser's bloody bending.
So Raichi won it.
No, Raichi came second.
Oh, Raichi came second.
Yes.
So who came first?
Mitchell.
Oh, Mitchell from Australia. Okay.
Yeah, you're fine, upstanding countryman.
At least I don't think. I hope he's not in the same. No, he's not in the same state as I am. I think he's from Perth. I think, from what I remember. Hey, Crafty.
What if it ain't Crafty Keeler? Blimey.
Tiny Captain said I nominated and voted for Jason. Who's Jason?
Oh yeah, I can't remember which Jason that was now. Because I watched most of these videos when they were sort of first put out, and then I totally forgot about it, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, there mustn't have been many nominees going by the look of what they've got going here.
There were loads.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a list. Doesn't look like they put up a list. Might have just read them out. Unless I missed an earlier. No, he's South Coast. Oh no, well I'm in the South Coast. Sort of. Hope he's too far away from me, John. List is on the Flurf wiki. Oh, okay, Dora. I'd have to open that up separate.
left, top left, top left. There we
Where
go.
are we? I have to go back out of here.
There were 32 nominations.
What on earth are you guys been posting over in the Discord? Cavendish Experiment proves gravity, Eric Dubay. Okay, I'll grab that blue.
Yeah, that's some derp.
Okay.
Oh, well, Eric, yeah, because he's just done one. Was it 20 proofs of the moon landing being faked or something, hasn't he? Which is just the biggest load of old bollocks you ever did see.
Hmm.
I mean, of course, because it's Eric Dubay, you know.
That's Eric Dubay.
Look what Farmer's posted.
None of it would be his own analysis. It'd just be a copy of somebody else's work. Anyway.
There you are, Farmer.
Oh, my brain hurts.
There's a whole group of them.
Yes, that's the Gumbies.
Lord, you are a sick puppy.
Yeah, he is. Possibly his community page.
I've got to take the nuts out of my hanky, sorry.
Somebody
Oh, hang on.
posted. Oh, here we are. Is that going to open?
I'm putting it back on my head now.
Top left award. Here we go. See if we can navigate through this somehow. Try that. Top left award.
There you go. There's
Oh,
there's the list of nominations, all 32 of them.
Bob and Jaron, what's Planer Walk doing there? Ken Wheeler,
Yeah.
HH, G-Man, Paul Bevan,
It's not how you spell
Doc
his surname,
Connector
but yeah.
Podcast, Multi Tom Tom, Tony Nahum, Dell, Carl Adams, Pookie Word, Kevin Johnson, Flatzoid, Expat Taffy, Gary Wybenga, Santos. Oh, we know who CC is. Quantum QE, Davey. I can't pronounce that name. Dwight. Austin Whitsett, yeah. Brian's Logic. Light the Flutter, Trey Hutchison, Nathan Oakley, Glenn Sirio, Valerie, Jason, aka Bargain Basement, Fred Durst, James Truth. James Truth, he hasn't been in the picture for donkeys. Sleepy, Rachie, and Mitchell.
He's been abandoned.
He has been abandoned. Hasn't
Honourable mentions: Tim Tully, Mike Lindell, Mark Steele, Kim Tate,
he? Oh yes, he's very, very
Leo,
expert.
Matt Powell, Ross Thatcher, SOM? Who's SOM? I'm not sure.
Don't know who that is.
Lemon Bird, Woton, Canadian Truck Drivers, McFluddy,
Jose.
Kent Howard, Pissy Dave, Kevin Johns, Pesquismo, McToon, poor Jose,
Yeah, poor.
PJC Net, and Nathan Thompson. Okay. Oh, that's what that is.
Yep.
So you must have put your vote into that somewhere.
What they actually did was there was a video put out for each nomination.
Right.
And every video that you watch counts as a vote towards that person. And then if you actually wanted to vote for that person, you gave that video a thumbs up. So you could, in effect, vote for a person twice.
Okay.
I believe that the likes actually were worth 10 points.
Oh, yeah.
And the views were only worth 1 point.
Yeah, just watching them gave them a mark. But then, yeah, if you then, because obviously the whole point was you'd watch them all and then make your pick and vote for whoever. Can't even remember who I voted for now. So bloody long ago.
And apparently there was some purchasing of votes going on, that someone purchased views on some of the videos, not realising that likes were 10 times worth, were worth more than 10 times a view, and likes are actually cheaper to purchase than views.
I think that was Craig, wasn't it? I think people were buying. Somebody bought views for Fight the Flat Earth to try and get him up to the top.
Who else?
How do you buy views, mate? How do they do that?
Easy.
Oh, okay.
I might buy
just
some
type in
subs.
Google, buy
How many,
YouTube
how
views.
many subs do you think I need to buy, Farmer?
Or just the one. But make sure it's well stocked with missiles and torpedoes.
Yeah, just make sure the check's signed, and my address is.
If you have any complaints, please address them to British Airways, care of Ingram's Drive, Redditch.
Can anyone understand Blue's thumbnail that he's got at the moment?
The Irishman.
Yes, that's the leprechaun that is known as Bev.
Oh.
Ah.
Yeah.
Looking for a rainbow, no doubt.
Yes. Well, I think it would seem after last night he has indeed found the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Really?
Apparently. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do tell.
He ran. Hang on, I'm just pulling up the website now. There is a website called Give Send Go. It's the #1 free Christian crowdfunding site, and I'll put the link in Discord if you want to see it. And he ran this little thing, and it's like a GoFundMe. It's a crowdsourcing thing, and he was basically asking for money because he needed to upgrade his home security and his PC because of all the threats and intimidation he'd been receiving.
Well,
and he had a goal of £2,500, and so far he has raised £3,719.
Wow.
Oh.
He's going well.
Here's a taste. Good day. I'm Bev, and just recently I've been under attack for speaking the truth about basic concepts and how I see reality in these modern times. The people against us are using intimidation tactics that make me feel the need to gain some security to my home and upgrade the family's computer equipment to the next level.
Whoa.
Due to recent events and the intimidation tactics within the community, I feel the threats against me should be recorded, and for this, a security camera on the outside of my house, an upgraded computer for the continued progress of the Try Thinking YouTube channel would be extremely useful. And then he mentions his son.
Wow.
Yep. And
Well,
I find that the vast bulk of that money has come from a certain gentleman who Blue holds in extremely high regard.
Blue can speak to that. That's
and
most of that's coming from Rocky.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there is also
Rocky Life.
I've just noticed that yesterday another charming individual, a certain Mike Jones, he donated £500.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes,
so he's got he wanted $2,500. He's got over $3,500 to upgrade his home security.
Well, I need a new computer. I've got my PayPal link down below in the description there, guys. If you just want to, anyone wants to chuck into that. What's a good computer cost these days? 10 grand?
Oh, easily. So why don't you go to the #1 free Christian crowdfunding site?
Yeah.
And ask for people's prayers and cash.
Okay.
Because it worked for him.
Yeah.
And if Bev really wanted to reduce the number of threats he was getting, maybe he should stop making threats.
Now there's a thought.
That would be a good idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Apparently, according to him, this whole thing escalated. It's my fault, right?
Yeah, of course.
For making a video pointing out the ridiculous threats they were making at me, toward me.
Yeah, but then as soon as you say something,
and
as soon as you say something, they complain about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, most of that money, probably 3,000 pounds of it, came from Rakia.
Yeah.
And what you're not seeing is what may have gone in the other direction. I doubt seriously Bev is keeping that. My guess is they're just running money in a circle and making it look good.
Ah, yes, because a couple of days ago, there were 2 anonymous donors of £1,000 each. One of them has now mysteriously changed and it now says it's Mike Jones.
Yeah.
So according to this, Mike Jones has donated 1,500 quid.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. God's sake. What?
What does Squeak want?
Oh, hang on. Say hello to all the people. No,
Hi, Squeak.
Yeah. Bloody nuisance. Get your tail out of me, mate. Get it out my tea as well. Christ almighty. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know. It all just seems a bit, and it's strange that there was all of this kerfuffle and bullshit going around between Bev and his acolytes and the likes of Blue and George. Yeah, and lots of people sort of playing the victim card and all the rest of it. And then this suddenly appears and he's raised over $3,500 because he's being intimidated. Really? So what do you actually need security cameras on your house for, Bev? You think George is going to come over here and do nastiness? Do you think Blue's going to come all the way over here and threaten you? Because none of us here in the UK don't really give a shit. You know, I
do not know of a single threat that's been made toward Bev. Not one.
No, not one. I don't know.
Where is the threat?
Yeah.
Nobody's made any threats toward Bev.
He's not said, look, I need this because X, Y, and Z have threatened me. There's been none of that. It's all bollocks. It really is.
No, you first got to find out where he lives.
Rocky can argue that somebody posted a picture of a house and claimed it was his house or something.
Oh, okay.
Rocky could claim that kind of shit if he wanted to. Nobody's done a single damn thing to Bev.
No.
All of a sudden, Bev's the biggest victim that needs all this money to upgrade a computer system and install security cameras. Jesus.
Yeah.
Give us a break, Bev, you lying bastard.
I mean, I don't know where he lives. He's up north somewhere, but who cares? I couldn't give.
Nobody cares where he lives. Yeah. Who gives a shit?
He's not on my doorstep. That I do know. He's up north somewhere, and whatever. I couldn't give a bugger where he lives. Not interested. It's bad enough that when we do this bloody thing with Rumpus at Welnley, that they're all, if they find out, they're all going to turn up. I don't want to see the guy. I don't want to hear his voice live again ever. Because it carries. This whole victim complex thing that they've got going on. You know, Raki is a permanent victim. Now Bev's a victim. A victim of what? Your own stupidity?
Stupidity, yeah.
I don't get it. But, you know, if he has actually managed to get this money out of people, then, well, more fool them.
Yeah, they're gullible enough to fall for it.
But Blue might well be right. This could just be, you know, recirculating money.
Yeah, I can run money in a circle and make it look like I got $100,000. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort to do that. The banking system has a word for that. It's called kiting.
Yes.
Who wants to watch some silly?
Yeah, let's have some.
Please. Yes,
Oh,
please.
is this Rachel? Hang on.
It's Eric
Good job
Dubay.
I've got my other mitts here.
No, it's Eric Dubay. It's Blues one.
Oh God, this is right. Oh, this could be both. Then sorry, Kat, you're not getting the fuss. I can't stroke you with these on.
Do you want to say anything before we start, Blue?
I think we'll do a little commentary as it goes along.
Okay. Well, just don't forget to say.
It doesn't last. I will. Yeah. It only goes
Okay.
3 minutes. It's about as much stupid as you can pack in 3 minutes. So.
Okay.
In 1797.
Well, it's a bit soft on my end. See if I can get a bit more.
Well, the report was published in 1798, so you started out getting it fucking wrong, buddy.
Okay.
Start as you mean to continue.
Okay.
Henry Cavendish, the British scientist, Freemason, and wealthy grandson of the Duke of Devonshire, created an experiment which he claimed successfully proved the existence of gravity, measured.
Well,
No, he did not.
No, he didn't claim that. That's not what he claimed.
He never made any claim. The fucking word gravity never got used anywhere at any time. That was not the purpose of Cavendish.
Yep.
He set out literally to determine the density of the Earth, in his words, to weigh the Earth.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
See, I need to pause it there because I knew he was wrong.
Yep.
Okay. I'll see if I can do it again.
Its constant and provided accurate figures for the exact masses of the Earth, Sun, Moon, and planets. How did Cavendish achieve
Fucking
this
wrong.
quantum?
He only did it for Earth, didn't he?
No. He said nothing about any of the rest of that horse shit.
No.
Nothing about the sun, nothing about the moon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where this guy gets this stuff from.
Yeah.
I do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's where he's plucking it from, out his ass.
That's a nice looking Cavendish experiment one.
Yeah, it's too bad it's just a little tiny model.
Leap for heliocentric pseudoscience? He fixed 2 large lead balls on opposite ends of a torsion balance and hung them from the roof of his shed.
No, he did
No,
not.
no, that's
2 small balls.
Oh,
2
even
small
I,
balls.
even I picked up on that.
Jeez. Okay.
Every word, every sentence is going to be
Alright.
wrong.
Every bit of it is wrong. Every bit. It's amazing.
As soon as he said big balls,
Okay.
then torsion balance, yeah, got that wrong.
Well, yeah, the big ones are hanging from the roof. Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But they're not.
But they're not hanging on the torsion balance, you dipshit.
Yeah.
The little balls. God almighty. Okay.
Hashtag what's the torsion balance?
J. By watching and recording slight motions of the contraption via telescope through his shed window so his mass would not affect the reading, Cavendish claimed to have proven
That's
gravity.
wrong too. That's also wrong.
What to affect the reading?
That damn building doesn't stop his mass from affecting the balance.
Of course it does.
No.
We don't know of a way to shield gravity.
Would not affect the reading, Cavendish claimed to have proven gravity. 2 small lead balls were hung near the large ones, and any motion observed towards one another was touted as being the influence of gravity. Now, the Cavendish experiment has been widely criticized by the scientific community because never in over 2 centuries since its creation has anyone been able to replicate it.
Oh, geez. Pause.
What a load of horse.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
What? Widely criticized? No, it's been widely hailed as one of the most iconic experiments ever performed.
If only somebody
It's
had
one of
built.
the most respected experiments anyone has ever done.
If only somebody would
Jesus
have built
Christ.
a
And to
Cavendish
say it's never been,
experiment. If only somebody could build a Cavendish experiments in their shed, done some tests on it, and then maybe donated it to a well-known university to use as a teaching apparatus. Who would have thunk that?
Yeah, who would have?
I did manage to point that out to him in a comment someplace down there.
Firstly,
What an
the
idiot.
balls simply do not always attract one another, as they must for the so-called
Yeah, they do.
gravitational.
What's he got buoyancy with the orange and a... Okay.
I don't
Constant
know.
to be constant at all. Sometimes the torsion balance turns towards the balls, and sometimes away, as it is impossible not to give some slight tremulous motion when interacting with it. Henry even complained in his notes how often as he was performing the measurement, the contraption was still in oscillation. Secondly,
Yeah, as it was
since
supposed
its
to be.
calculated force of
That's how you do it.
It's called. Oh my God! It's a horizontal
That's exactly
pendulum.
how you. Yeah. I would point out that I ran and videoed on the live stream 46 tests. Each time moving those weights to two different positions. That means 92 times that son of a bitch went the right direction. It never went the wrong direction. What's this guy talking about? They go toward each other. You can't make it not do that without introducing something really weird like some electrostatic stuff. The guy's an idiot.
Yep.
Okay.
Ding.
gravity was 10 to the 39th power weaker than the force of electromagnetism, from which all material objects are composed, there is no control for the experiment, which can...
What's he talking about electromagnetism for? What all?
I don't know what he was.
Throwing that one in.
I'm not sure what point he's trying to make. Yes,
All
gravity is
materials
a weak force.
Yeah, and all materials aren't composed of electromagnetism.
No.
Relative density on a
Rather
flat
strange.
Earth. They should have all their names written there in that density tower.
Yeah.
can factor out and positively differentiate the alleged gravitational force from the known, stronger electromagnetic force. In other words, the balls could simply be attracting each other through static electricity, a known force existing in all...
And what materials would static electricity be more adherent to? Not lead. That's why you use lead.
Yeah. That's why you put that's why you put it inside a Faraday shield, as I did.
all things billions of times stronger than gravity and impossible to control for the experiment. Even though no one could replicate Cavendish's findings, the experiment went down in history as a great success and is still taught as veritable proof of universal gravitation in science textbooks today.
No, it's not.
And idiots believe this guy. He says it, so it must be true, and they quote him. Oh, so go and see Eric Dubay.
Yep, and this will all get spread around to the flirters now. They'll all parrot it. Just because he said it. Yeah, we watched a video. Somebody said it. Yeah, who?
Okay, that's my derp contribution for the day.
Yeah, thanks, Blue. We've got a Naked Charlie. Who's a Naked Charlie? Anyone know a Charlie?
I do know Charlie, yeah. Charlie's a good guy.
Yeah.
Do you want a wrench or a spanner, Charlie? If you say the wrong one,
Charlie,
if you
say
say the
Spanner. They-
Think very carefully before you say the word.
I'm not going to tell
Was
him which one.
Cavendish actually? I just
Hey?
wonder, was Cavendish actually a Freemason?
I've never read that. I don't know if
I
that's
don't recall seeing it
accurate or
anywhere
not.
that he's actually a free. I mean, I know obviously if you're a flat earther of Dubé's status, then obviously everybody who's against the flat Earth is
a
automatically a Freemason
Yeah.
because the Masons. I mean, we have a similar thing over here as well called the Round Table, and they're just generally people who get together and sort of help out and give to charities and do good works. And
Zebulon, do you want your spanner?
That's fine to talk about. There's no wrenches here, dear boy.
What are we doing? How long have we been going for? Have you got any
To be
dirt?
honest,
Have you got any dirt, Paul, of any sort, or questions, or whatever?
I don't have any dirt, but I've got some quiz questions if you want.
There's
really hard ones like normal.
Oh, they're average hard.
Average hard.
Average hard.
Yeah.
Average hard. Yeah, average hard's not too bad.
I've got a feeling that most people will get the answers to these ones pretty readily.
Zebulon says, yes, I love my spanner. Thank you, Zebulon. I'm just waiting for Charlie.
Go on, Charlie.
Oh, look out.
Gadzooks.
Are we talking about gravity again?
That's a Cavendish experiment there, mate.
I'll tell you what, they're not on the torsion balance. Nice.
Yes, so let me know when you're ready for the first question. Has Charlie got his spanner yet?
Right then, Squeak, are you helping out this time, or are you just going to lay there and just keep shedding hair everywhere? Oh, okay.
Okay. Here we go then. Here we go. Question number 1. This character draws a charcoal of the Florence Cathedral from memory and mocks a woman's West Virginian accent after she hands him a questionnaire.
Who
is this character?
That tiny captain said, why all this discussion between spanner and wrench? It's a... Okay.
You got it, farmer's boy. First clue. Well done.
Yeah, know that one.
Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, these ones aren't terribly hard.
Yeah,
Hey, if they're all like that,
it mustn't
I'll
be
be
that
happy
hard. Farmer got it.
Yeah. Oh, what does that mean? Well, if that's the standard, then you're not quite up to that standard yet, then, Terry.
Yeah,
No,
come on,
no, I'm
easy,
not.
brother. Why have you got it?
Second clue. This character falsely names a former acquaintance as Lewis Friend, an anagram for iron sulfide. Who is this character? No, we've only got one answer so far. That's right.
Come on, Peanuts.
Come on.
Come on, Peanuts.
This character impersonates a man who brings him a dinner of extra rare lamb by skinning his face and wearing it like a mask, allowing this character to escape prison.
That won't give it away.
You reckon?
Who is this character? Yeah.
Personates a man and brings you... Really?
Come on, he wears a guy's face.
Nah, still got me beat.
Nah, still got you? Okay. Before making an improvised slurping sound, this character recalls a meal that included some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah.
You
Okay.
know who it is now, Terry?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Somebody put
That is
something out
correct,
in the.
Blue. Yes.
There's
Yeah,
some names.
yeah.
The names coming out in the peanut gallery, maybe.
Yes, they are correct.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's the movie, John, but not the character. That's
Yeah, I
the
just
movie
can't
it's
think.
from. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think.
That's one
Yeah,
of those.
and the
one of
Peanuts
those,
have got it right.
one of those movies I didn't watch.
Really?
Another movie I had
Hannibal
to watch.
Lecter. Yeah, Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. Yeah. Name this cannibalistic former psychiatrist, played by Anthony Hopkins, who helps Clarice Starling catch a serial killer in the Silence of the Lambs. It was, of course, Hannibal Lecter.
Do you know,
Well done.
I prefer the series. The Hannibal series, that's much better.
Okay.
But yeah, that is a classic film.
Question 2. Excessive paging of this resource leads to thrashing, in which this resource is rapidly transferred between two sites. What is this resource?
Thrashing.
L1, L2 and L3 types of this resource are faster than the main form of this resource. What is this resource?
You know it, Farmer?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's not a film question.
This one's a fairly easy question too.
Oh, you say so,
I'll
you.
be surprised if the Peanuts don't know it yet. It's not fresh water, no.
How do you page water?
Yeah, it's not wheat. A segmentation fault occurs when a program attempts to access this resource without permission.
This sounds like a computer thing.
What is this resource? You could be onto something there, Terry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't know fuck all about
That's
computers.
correct, Blue.
Blue got it.
And you're kind of right, John Stock, but you don't need that first word.
Oh.
Not electric currents. Garbage collection automatically deallocates this resource. What is this resource? You're on the right track, Spooky Bedhair, but I need a different name. Pointers store addresses for this resource in the stack and are used to access this resource in the heap. Friend list on Facebook. No. The cached form of this resource is typically stored in the CPU as SRAM. What is this resource? You should know it now.
Got bloody clue.
Yes, Spooky Bedhair has it. And Big Blue got it first with memory.
Oh,
Is the
Wow.
correct
Okay.
one, yeah. Name this computing resource where random access type can be measured in gigabytes. That should have given it away.
yeah.
It is memory. Well done.
Good on you,
Memories
Spooky.
Okay. Question 3. Composers with this surname residing in Berlin and London composed in the galant style of music for such pieces as solfeggetto.
No,
What
not
is
into
this surname?
that sort of stuff. Somebody out there might get it. Not into classical music or anything.
A fictional composer with this surname, invented by Peter Shikeli, has initials that stand for pretty damn quick. What is this surname?
No.
Spook's having another go.
The most famous composer with this surname parodied his own addiction in his Coffee Cantata and has his works catalogued in the BWV. Who is this composer? John Stock has it.
Really,
And
John?
seeing as we've got a correct and seeing as we've got a correct answer out in the peanuts as well, we will say congratulations again to Spooky Bedhair with Bark.
Wow.
Is the correct answer. Yeah.
I think the only
composer-
answer would have been better.
Yeah.
Van Halen.
Yeah. That composer with this surname wrote a foundational set of preludes and fugues in every major and minor key, which is titled The Well-Tempered Clavier. Yeah. Give this surname of the large family of musicians including C.P., E, and Johann Sebastian. Bach was, of course,
Yeah.
the...
And it wasn't Fleetwood Mac, Helmix, sorry.
Wasn't Fleetwood Mac, no.
Hello. And there's Bach doing a Van Halen. Lots of finger work.
Yeah. Question 4. The density of this entity is indicated by the third peak of the cosmic microwave background's power spectrum. What is this entity? There's a bit of physics. The Lambda CDM model, often called the standard model of Big Bang cosmology, includes the cold form of this entity. What is this entity? Not fusion, no. This entity can explain the offset of the bullet cluster's centre of mass. What is this entity? Not radio, John Stock, no. Not tea.
Tea. Cheers, no sugar.
Weakly interacting massive particles, or WIMPs, are one candidate for this entity, which is difficult to detect as it does not interact with electromagnetic radiation. What is this entity? It's not fusion. That is correct, Farmer's Boy.
Not bad for a pun.
Yeah, and well done to Facty out in the Peanuts, who also has it correct with
All right.
dark matter. Yeah. Name this currently undetected type of matter that makes up around 85% of the matter in the universe. It is cold dark matter.
How'd you know it's out there? Because we can't see it. All right.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Oh, come on, Sean. Your mom's boss.
What?
Question 5. This planet's moon, Galatea, causes its outermost atoms ring to feature clumps called arcs. Which planet is this? You got a 1 in 9 chance of getting it right, right?
Yeah.
No, that's not right, Farmer's Boy.
Right. Well, if it's not that
You-
one,
You've reduced your odds. This planet anomalously radiates more than twice as much energy as it receives from the sun, causing it to have winds that break the sound barrier. Which planet is it?
that one.
That's the right one. Yay. And Carl Edwards got it out in the Peanuts very quickly as well. It is, in fact, Neptune. Well done. One moon of this planet has a frozen nitrogen surface and is the largest moon in the solar system with a retrograde orbit. Johann Gall discovered this planet on the same night that he received Urban Leverrier's mathematical prediction of its existence. Since they were the first observed in 1989, storms on this planet like the Scooter and the Great Dark Spot have disappeared. Name this planet that is an ice giant like Uranus. It is, of course, Neptune.
Yes, I knew there were two planets with rings. And it was like, okay, let's get the obvious one there first.
Yeah. Question 6. Small white spots on an X-ray indicate the miliary form of this disease. What is this disease? Rifampicin and isoniazid are among the ripe drugs used to treat this disease, whose causative agent can be visualized by Ziehl-Neelsen acid fast staining. What is this disease? It's not pleurisy. Not smallpox. Purified protein derivative, or PPD, is injected under the skin in the Mantoux test for this disease. Not lead poisoning. The BCG vaccine for this disease is primarily administered to children and was developed from a bovine mycobacterium. What is it? Yes, you've got it correct, John Stock. And Farmer's Boy's got it, and plenty of people out in the peanuts have got it. Anyone who said tuberculosis is correct. This disease leads to night sweat and bloody cough. Name this lung disease, historically known as consumption. It is TB, or tuberculosis.
Yes, I worked on an old turn of the century, 1900 hospital out in Norfolk, not a million miles away from where Alan lives. And the theory was that if there was a huge infection, they could just take everybody out there and torch the place.
Okay.
Because it was entirely timber construction, and that was being turned into, I think, one of these rehab centres. Incredible building. But yeah, I think it was about 1900, 1901 it was built.
Yeah.
TB hospital.
Yeah, it was quite a common disease before the advent of antibiotics.
Yeah.
Question 7. This particle was proven to exist using gamma rays from thallium-208. Which particle?
Oh, John.
My bowl of peanuts is suffering from consumption.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yes, my bowl of toffees was getting the same way. I had to top them up early on.
Yeah. This particle was theorized as an unexpected positive solution to the Dirac equation. Which particle is it? Not the God particle, no. Not the neutron, no.
Oh,
I don't think we could classify the neutron as a positive solution to the Dirac equation.
That one?
It's not the Higgs boson, no, Farmer's Boy, it's not. No, John Stock, it's not an atom. An atom is composed of lots of particles.
Yeah.
In the most common type of pair production, a high-energy photon is transformed into this positively charged particle and its antiparticle. Oh, the Movietron.
And its sequel.
Not a quark, no. This particle is emitted when an up quark changes flavour into a down quark?
Yeah, no, I don't know any of this stuff at all.
This particle annihilates with its antiparticle in its namesake emission tomography, the PET scan. What does the P in PET stand for? Not the moon. Not the muon, no. We do have a correct answer out in the peanuts, though.
Oh, okay.
Name this particle symbolised E+, that has the same mass but opposite charge of an electron. Come on, internal.
Oh, right then.
That's the correct one. Blue, well done. And I think who got it first there? Clive Wells, I think it was. No, it was Carl Edwards. With the positron was the correct answer.
As in the positronic brain.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I wonder who has one of them.
Lots of robots that Asimov wrote about.
Yeah.
Did Lindsay draw that, did he?
Yeah. Question 8. Johann Bernoulli solved the brachistochrome problem using the fact that this function of theta is inversely proportional to the square root of y for a cycloid. What is this function? Pushytron, in fact, he says. The Fourier decompositions of odd functions are sums of this function. What is this function? Oh, another quick clue then. The hyperbolic form of this function equals 1/2 times the quantity of e to the x, take away e to the minus x. What is this function? John Rapp says what Clive says, even though Clive hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah, but whatever he said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, he
I know.
has said something now, so will remain to be seen whether it's right or not, hey? This function's Taylor series expansion is the alternating sum of odd powers of x over factorials of odd integers. What function is this? Conjunction function, what's your function? Conjunction junction, what's your function? The reciprocal of this function is cosecant, and the derivative of this function is cosine. What is this function? That is correct, Farmer's Boy.
I thought we needed to get there.
Yeah. Name this trigonometric function that is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. And Clive was in fact correct.
Yeah, what Clive says. Yeah.
Yeah, what
Clive
Clive
was
said,
right. Yeah, it was the sine function. Well done.
Oh.
S equals O over H, silly old Hitler.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or silly old Hannibal.
Question 9. This is about a band. Okay? This band was featured alongside Pussy Riot in the title track of Dorian Electra's album My Agenda. Which band is this?
Pussy Riot. Oh, God.
Who supported the act Pussy Riot?
I tell you who it wasn't.
Who wasn't it?
It wasn't Fleetwood Mac.
It wasn't Fleetwood Mac. You're correct about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought, let's just get that out, before everybody goes, oh, it's Fleetwood Mac. No, it wasn't. No,
No,
definitely
not
not.
Fleetwood Mac. Definitely not, no.
Pussy Riot.
But you will get this one, and it's not a hard question, really. A different song by this band begins with the lyrics, "Body, wanna feel my body," and references a newspaper ad reading "Macho types wanted." What band is this? The Flathearts. It's not Queen. No. In response to the George Floyd protests, this band's lead singer asked Donald Trump to stop using that song, Macho Man, at his rallies. What band is this? That should give it away. That is correct, Farmer's Boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Not really my sort of music.
Not really mine either.
No.
Yeah, Terry's got it right. The most famous song by this band has a dance with forearm poses that imitate letters. That song tells a young man that there's no need to feel down.
Why?
It's not Poised to Men.
Poised to
no.
Men.
Everyone put the initials out.
Yeah.
No, the
Finally we
Partridge
have
Family.
it from the Peanuts. With John Rapp and the Olmigs coming out with the Village People. Yes.
No, not the Partridge Family, Facty.
No.
Not the Partridge Family, no. No, this disco band whose members dress as construction workers and cowboys, best known for their gay anthem YMCA. It is, of course, the Village People.
Don't forget in the Navy.
Yeah.
Billy Connolly's version of that in the Brownies.
Yeah. And your last question for the day.
Oof.
The six-factor formula for this process is used to determine an effective multiplication factor for this process. Well, what is this process? Geological dating can be performed by observing tracks left by this process. What is this process? Sibulan thought the band was actually called YMCA.
Yes, that's what they're famous for, but no, the Village People.
No, and the process is not sedimentation. No. In this process, fast particles are converted to thermal ones by graphite or heavy water, which are moderators that regulate neutron energies. What is this process? That should pretty much give it away, I think. Not Big G. Not walking in the mud. No. Not carbon dating. If the critical mass is achieved, then neutrons colliding into other atoms will drive a chain reaction of this process, which is exploited by nuclear reactors. What process is this? Not metamorphosis, not radioactive decay, not glaciation, not nuclear fusion. Farmer's Boy has it correct. I'm not sure what John's wrote there. I think it's
Maybe John isn't either.
Version?
Oh no, I was typing something else and
that's a cross between fusion and fission, is it? Version.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. But Carl Edwards got it right fairly early on there. It is, in fact, the process of nuclear fission.
Yeah,
Splitting the atom refers to what process? The opposite of nuclear fusion. It is nuclear fission.
Yeah.
And that's your quiz for the night.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
I do like the film.
Spooky bed hair, fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
Yeah.
Rim shot.
You just got to be careful you don't drop one of the chips back in.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
You're excused.
Bloody TV switched itself on again this morning.
Somebody must have a
What do you mean
remote
the TV
close
switched
by
itself
with a
on?
What
signal.
it is, it's the TV service I get from BT is called UView, and there's a UView box, and when that turns on, it automatically turns the TV on. And for some reason, and it's been doing this of late, 4:15 this morning, my UView box switches itself on, so the TV comes on, and I hear it blaring away, and it wakes me up. And so you've got to go downstairs and turn the
You
TV
know how to
off.
fix that?
Don't tell me to turn the TV off, because it hasn't got my TV does not have an on-off switch.
At the PowerPoint.
Well, all I can do is unplug the socket.
Can't you turn it? Hasn't it got a switch on the PowerPoint?
Nope.
What? Don't they have them over there?
A lot of TVs now don't have an on-off switch.
No, the PowerPoint doesn't have a switch to the PowerPoint.
Well, out the back of the TV unit, there's lots of things plugged into an extension lead. So if I turn the extension lead off, I turn everything off, and one of those things is my internet router.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm going to have to do is put a different. I think I have somewhere got an extension lead where you can switch off every individual item.
Yeah.
And I've got to remember when I go to bed is to physically switch the TV off at that socket.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't have to do that, you know. Why is this thing keep booting itself up at stupid o'clock in the morning and waking me up, you know? Yeah, unplug the TV. It's there in amongst all the other cables and plugs behind the TV, between the the TV unit and the wall.
Yeah, that sounds too inconvenient. That does.
It is too inconvenient. But yeah, TV should have an on-off switch. So if you're going up with the night, you can just click, switch the TV off, and it wouldn't happen.
My missus's TV's turned itself on during the night for some strange reason. I don't know why.
It's done it every now and then. It seems over the last few weeks, it just seems to be doing it all the bloody time. It's getting bloody annoying.
One of the houses I used to live in Melbourne, we had a fan with an RF remote. And the neighbours bought a new fan. And they bought the same fan with the same RF remote. And it had the same frequency. And whenever they used to turn their fan on, ours would bloody go on too. Or eventually had to go over and say, hey, can you please change the channel of your remote? Because you're turning on our fan all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, Tiny Captain. I've checked. There's no sort of switch hidden along the bottom or anything. My main TV downstairs does not have a power switch.
Mine's at the back of the TV when you reach around the back of the screen.
There is like if your remote failed for any reason or you lost it, there is like a little joystick built into the back that will allow you to change settings, but you can't physically turn the power off without unplugging the damn thing. It's fucking annoying.
Yeah. So when this other box comes on, it transmits the signal to your TV to tell it to turn on, right?
Yep.
That's the HDMI. What do they call it? I can't think of the letters they use for it now. It's where you can control one device over HDMI with another device as a remote.
It's just the way this thing is set up. If I sit down and want to watch TV and want to watch something I recorded, then I'll switch that box on. And when that box, if the TV's off, that box turns on, it switches on the TV, and it goes to the correct HDMI channel that it's feeding through.
Yeah, I think it's called HDMI CRC.
Yeah, well,
there's usually a setting on your TV where you can disable that if you want to.
Might have to go and have a look through the menu and see, because it is bloody annoying when you're fast asleep and then wallop. I think it's set on one of the BT sports channels, and they tend to be going 24 hours. Yeah. So whatever crap sport.
It just means that you would have to turn each device on separately. Like you'd have to use the TV remote to control the TV, and the set-top box remote to control the set-top box.
I do that. I do that anyway. So
Yeah.
Can you let Space Matt in? We got room for a Space Matt?
well, if he tries to join, I'll let him in.
I don't know, he's not lurking over in the Discord. Have you looked for the secret panel on the TV?
Yeah, there isn't one. Trust me, I've been over every bloody inch of that TV because I was trying to find the on-off button. And then eventually I found the instructions because I don't throw instructions away. There's a drawer in my filing cabinet that's just got instruction booklets in it, and I found the instructions. No, there is no power switch.
Did you Google it? Just to be sure?
Yeah, I did Google as well, yes. There is no power switch anywhere.
How do you turn off my TV? Model number such and such. What does it say?
They're all dead, Dave. Dave?
Yeah,
all dead.
Dave, they're all
They're
dead.
all dead, Dave.
Dave, they're all dead. They're all dead. Dave, they're all dead. Dave.
You can switch off the HDMI switch on in the setting on the TV.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'll have to go and have a search for that later on and see if I can disable that because then you got the problem, you've had to get up, traipse downstairs, turn the telly off, you get back to bed and you think, right, can I get back to sleep now? And sometimes I can, and sometimes I can't, and that does make for.
Get NASA to
this
send
point
the
in the
TV
afternoon.
a special update if you have the flirt version.
No, mine's not a fluff TV.
You might have a poltergeist.
Well, he, she, or it can bugger off.
You sure Squeak doesn't go down there and want to watch TV in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
No, it won't be Squeak. It could be a sister.
Ah.
Just do a GoFundMe for £2,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep getting woken up by my TV system. I need money to get a better one that's got an on-off switch.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Hey,
nice one,
Matt.
Carl. It's a telegeist.
It works for the leprechaun. It ought to work for you.
Yeah, no, why not?
Well, you're here now, Matt. Hey, Matt.
Here he is.
Hello.
Yeah, I was
Hey, man.
I was really only asking because I wasn't sure whether you just finished up or you're about to finish up.
Well, you can ask
So
now.
it's
You can ask in person.
So you're probably going to sign off now. So hello. Oh, we're off now.
Yeah, okay then. Good night, Peanuts. Good night, panel. See you next time.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
That's why I was asking. Hello, John. That's long time no speak.
Yeah, good to see you, mate.
Oh dear.
Well, we hadn't watched the videos yet, so you
Oh,
still
we've got
got
that at
time.
least. Oh, have I missed the quiz? Oh,
No.
dear. Oh,
Yeah.
But it's okay,
You
Matt, because you would have got all
We
of
would
them
have got
right.
them all right.
Yeah,
Is
you
it
would have got them
really?
all right, Matt. Yeah.
what was it about then?
Oh, the first
Well,
one was
they were all
Pizza
Fleetwood
Pizza,
Mac.
Yeah.
No, I think I would have got most of those wrong actually. I know nothing about Fleetwood Mac. Good music.
Oh, did you miss the Fleetwood Mac quiz?
Obviously.
Must have done. A few weeks back.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There was a Village People question. You would have got that right.
What are you trying to say?
I might have done. Might have done.
No, Terry, it was a village people question, not a village idiot question.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh.
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 Shots fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't live in a village, so I'm all right.
I do.
I know you do.
Actually, today it's eerily quiet. I thought there was racing on today, but I haven't heard a bloody thing from over there. Let's check the calendar.
You're really quiet.
Yeah, well, come on. Usually at the weekend you can hear nothing but
No.
Oh, that kind of noise.
And it's nothing.
I remember the very first lockdown, and we went into Belfast, which, as you know, Belfast is really considered the kind of like the capital of Northern Ireland, and we were doing stuff with St John's over the lockdown, and it was the weirdest sensation. A city which is normally heaving with traffic was literally, there was like, we saw on the way to this depot like 3 or 4 cars. It was bizarre, really strange.
No,
Really quiet.
apparently
Yeah.
there isn't anything this weekend. I'm surprised.
No racing.
No, I don't. Oh, it doesn't look like there's anything until the 23rd of April.
Tiny Captain's got a message for you, Farmer.
Fundraise for a TV will only work if a friend of yours threatens blue and then say you are not feeling safe. Matt, do us a favour.
What?
Yeah, Matt, can you threaten blue?
Oh, what?
No, he can't.
Like threaten brew? No, I couldn't do that. No,
Oh,
I could
no,
possibly do that.
Oh, that's brilliant. No, he can't. Yeah.
If you threaten blue, that makes you eligible to GoFundMe for a new TV.
Yeah. have you not heard, Matt? Have you
Oh,
not heard what Bev's done?
Oh yes, I have heard the whole story. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have heard it.
£3,719 at the moment.
Oh, that's right. He threatens Blue and doxes him, and he feels threatened, so he's doing a fundraiser to get security cameras.
Correct.
Or
And
something.
a new PC.
Yeah.
Oh, he needs
And
a new PC as well, yeah.
He needs a new PC. I know. Oh, Jesus Christ. Didn't 2 people give him £1,000 each or something, didn't they? From what I hear.
Yeah, when you look at the list of donations, the names have changed over the last few days. There were 2.
Well, those 2 people. Yeah, those 2 people are actually just a singular, one large person, in the form of a Rakia.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Well, actually, I could do with a new TV. Blue, I'm going to come and get you soon, so watch out.
I want a new PC.
Yeah, watch out.
I feel
I'm gonna get you.
threatened.
Oh damn! All right, I'm doing a fundraiser right now.
I need a new PC I can throw at you if you come after me.
Someone should suggest that Bev get a more accurate water level.
Get a longer one.
Yeah.
An extra long one.
Yeah, because this is only something like 200 feet long, isn't it?
Yeah, that's.
Well, his original one's only a few feet long.
What are you munching on, Paul?
Potato chips. Or flavour.
Easy.
Not salt and vinegar.
Oh, yeah. I thought outside the UK, any potato chips were all just plain, like salted. I didn't think you get flavours anywhere else
What?
than the UK.
Where are you been?
I'm sure countries outside of the UK are fully cognizant of this thing called flavour.
Yeah, as long as they're not salt and vinegar, I'm right.
How many messing? Or salt and vinegar's the only decent flavour.
No, it's not.
Could be worse. Could be prawn cocktail.
Mm.
You're right, Facty. I do need a new Cavendish. Damn right I do. Screwed up and gave the other one away.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, but you got your workshop back, didn't you?
Yeah.
At least you can move around your workshop now. You haven't got a great big, huge experimental device hanging around your workshop.
Yeah.
I think
I
Blue's
miss
one of
that
those
thing.
rare people that has a garage and he doesn't put a car in it.
Yeah, actually does have.
Oh, yeah, farmers too, sorry.
I'm not even sure my garage, if you cleared it, was long enough. But if it was,
Yeah.
it's not wide enough to open the bloody door afterwards.
Whose idea
My
was that
Mondeo-
to do that to your garage? You can't even get a car in it.
See, the problem is they still keep building garages the same size as they always have, but cars,
Yeah.
of course, have got bigger,
Bigger,
and bigger,
bigger.
and bigger. I mean, the young couple across the way in the next house, they've got Fiestas, and the chap's been doing up a sporty-looking Fiesta in the garage for months now, and it's a Fiesta. It's a little hatchback, and he's only just got room to get in there and work on it.
Mm.
Now, I'm not even sure my Mondeo. It might just physically fit, but you wouldn't be able to open the door and get in and out of it. Garage is too small.
I was talking to Mad B the other day.
You were?
Remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
asking about you. Yeah. He was asking about you.
Was he all right?
And he was asking where he hadn't heard from Globey for a while. I haven't heard from Globey for a while.
No, we haven't definitely
Yeah,
heard from
I think,
Globey
yeah.
for a while.
That'd be
I'll have to
okay,
ask
'cause I mean,
Peter.
he doesn't
Peter, I don't know where
doesn't keep
Peter
well
is
health,
around.
does he? Mm.
Peter might know. Heard of you?
Mm.
Well, do you want to finish off watching these videos then, Matt? What have we
Yeah.
got?
We
We've
got a
got
Blue
back-
video again. Have we got a new one from Blue?
Blue. I don't think Blue's got a new one that I could find.
No.
No, I don't think so.
No, you'll have to wait till next episode for Blue. He might have one out by then.
But before you do, how did you? Did anybody watch the top left awards? I suppose you've already spoken
We
about it,
discussed
have you?
it a little bit, but
You discussed it earlier.
yeah.
I didn't watch him live because I was too knackered. I mean, it started at midnight, didn't it?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. A bit disappointed that Gary Why Bother didn't do better. He was 17th.
Is that where he ended up? 7th? Yeah, I thought he did
17th.
better than that.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have thought he would have done better.
The competition was quite hot, wasn't it? There's so many idiots to choose from, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think Mitchell kind of is a deserved winner. To be fair, he's definitely epitome of Dunning-Kruger amount of stupid, isn't he?
Yes,
for sure. So I can't believe Rachie beat Riley. You know, his prophecy beat him.
She is his Padawan, isn't she? You know,
Padawan. Yeah,
she is the mini me of Sleeping Warrior, and beat him. But then
I made a
Sleepy's been fairly quiet, hasn't he? He doesn't put too many videos out, I don't think so.
No, he doesn't, does he? I made a prediction last night on the Shields. I said, because we're sort of saying who would be the most likely next flat earther to come over to the globe side, and I reckon Rachie would be probably the one.
I think if you had said that a year ago, yes, but now, no. I think she's too invested in it. She's getting too much attention because that's what it's about with her.
Well, so was Ranty. I mean, Ranty was very much invested in it, wasn't he? He was very deep in it without shadow. But you could tell with Rachie. I mean, she's not stupid. You know, I don't get that impression that she's gullible, stupid. I think she's just, because you can tell sometimes you can sort of tell that she's, I don't know, that she might be she could be turned eventually. So that's still my prediction. I think it could happen. It might not happen for months. It might not happen for years. Who knows? But I think eventually it probably might.
Unless she's cottoned on that she gets more attention the way she goes at the moment.
Well, yeah, maybe.
I suspect so. That's what most of it's about.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was just saying, Laura. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think about it to a certain extent, I think why most of us do channels is attention, really, but it's not personal attention, which maybe some flat earthers do. But I mean, it's still attention. You want people to watch your videos, otherwise, why bother doing it? You know.
Rachie's all about personal attention.
You think?
Look at her at any time she goes into any chat, and she'll have 15 people talking to her.
Yeah,
she loves the attention.
Yeah, I mean, we all know why, and they're mostly male, so you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what it is with her. And no, she won't change.
Yeah.
My pick, if you wanted to ask me who I think might actually be able to come back to common sense, not that he ever had any to begin with, but Brian Leakey.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I'm not sure about him. I'm not sure. No, we'll see in time. We'll see in time.
Go on, get out.
Probably be somebody completely different. Who knows? Oh, wonderful people.
Well, we've got two Antons, so we've got either background light of the universe is twice as bright as we thought, or we can watch Hubble found a star at the edge of our observable universe.
We'll just go with that one.
You like that one?
The Hubble one.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Whilst Mary kicks 3 wise men out.
Hello,
Harry?
wonderful person, this is Anton, and today we're going to be talking about the absolutely incredible discovery from the Hubble telescope that was just announced a few hours ago. The discovery of what seems to be the farthest star we've ever seen. A star that's so extremely far away that it's actually farther than most of the distant galaxies we've discovered so far. Located in the region of the universe when the universe was only approximately 900 million years old. During the era known as the Cosmic Dawn, when the universe itself was still slightly opaque and was still reionizing. And considering that all of the previous discoveries of these very distant stars, including the one right here that you can find in the description below, were much closer to us than what Hubble just discovered a few weeks ago, this makes this a pretty incredible discovery, and so it's definitely worth talking about this and, of course, about how all of this was found as well. But first of all, what is this star called? Well, unusually, it already has a proper name. Because this is such a rare discovery, the scientists have decided to give it a proper name right away. And the name is Arundel, which in Anglo-Saxon means morning star. With the name in this case referring to the idea of the star being part of the cosmic dawn. Now there's actually going to be a video about this, or it might have already been released and should be available either right here or in the description below, that's going to be exploring the cosmic dawn in a little bit more detail through some of the modern simulations. But in general, when the scientists talk about cosmic dawn, they usually refer to the period between approximately 400 million and 1 billion years after the creation of the universe. Something that started happening after the so-called Dark Ages, when for the most part the universe was kind of dark. And so once the first stars and first galaxies started forming, approximately 400 million years after the formation of the universe, that's when the cosmic dawn began. And so near the end of the cosmic dawn, approximately 900 million years after the beginning of the universe, that's when the scientists detected the light coming from this particular star. Now this is of course extremely interesting to the scientists because they've always been looking for objects in the distant universe. But in this case, even detecting distant galaxies has actually been always a challenge. As a matter of fact, when it comes to distant galaxies, the scientists usually can only see certain quasars or certain blazars at these extreme distances. And that's because the light from that distance, after traveling for billions and billions of years, becomes not as luminous as it used to be, and so it's extremely difficult to detect. And so only some galaxies so far have been found in these extremely distant regions, and we've talked about some of them in some of the previous videos that you can also find right there or in the description. But now the scientists have discovered something they really did not expect, something extremely unusual, and something that even right now I think most of them still cannot believe. An actual star. A star at these ridiculous distances. A star visible right there. But how and why? And why only now? Well, as you might have guessed, and as you might already know, all of this is because of the so-called gravitational lensing effect. The only natural way for us to see in these extreme distances, and the only way for us to find stars, or sometimes even distant galaxies, is when certain alignment makes it possible. In this case, we're of course referring to the effect you're about to see right here, which is the Einstein's lens or gravitational lens. And the way it of course forms is when you have a really massive object in front of some kind of other object, usually a bright distant star or a galaxy. As a matter of fact, previous detections of these distant stars at distances of up to about 4 billion light years away from us have all been because of the magnification from a lens, and the factor here was usually around 50 to 100. That's actually what happened in this detection right here back in 2018. But sometimes, in some extremely rare cases, we might get extremely lucky. We might find a lens that's even more powerful, and so powerful as a matter of fact that you start seeing individual objects that would be otherwise invisible. And so in this case, that's exactly what happened to the scientists using the Hubble telescope. They got extremely lucky. They used a foreground galaxy cluster, extremely massive cluster, known as WHL 0137-08. A cluster that's about 7.8 billion light years away from us, the one that you actually see right here, to discover something extremely unusual in one of the parts of the ring that it formed. Or actually, it wasn't really unusual at first, it only became unusual later. They discovered an object that you see right there that seemed to be magnified by a factor of 1,000, suggesting of course that this was an extremely distant object, with the calculations establishing its distance at the redshift of 6.2. Now if you're not familiar with redshifts, there are quite a lot of calculators online that you can use the redshift to determine the distance to the star, and the one I usually use is the one from UCLA by Edward Wright, which shows the distance at 27.7 billion light years away from us, or very, very, very far away. As a matter of fact, it's way too far to determine any of the properties we usually use to determine what type of a star it is. And so at the moment, despite the observations from the Hubble telescope, not much is actually known about the star itself. But I guess one of the first questions I personally had when I discovered about this is, how exactly do the scientists know that this is a star and not, for example, some kind of a globular cluster, or more specifically what we usually see, a supernova or some other transient event, an event that's extremely bright and visible from far away? And in this case, the answer comes from the length of observations, and more specifically from the fact that the luminosity of this object has not changed for over 3.5 years. And since we expect a transient event such as a supernova or any other explosion that's bright enough to produce these observations to change at least somewhat in 3.5 years, the fact that this object was producing just enough UV light that didn't really change much in terms of luminosity for this period of time, at the moment could only be explained as some sort of a relatively massive star, at least 50 masses of the Sun. And that's actually the only thing we currently know about this object until future observations from, for example, James Webb Telescope. The only thing that's clear, and that's of course based on the observations from different types of UV light right here in the Milky Way galaxy, is really that it seems to be a single star. A single, relatively massive star, kind of similar to what we usually expect a No-type or a B-type star to be. A star that can exist for a few million years and then explodes, producing a very large supernova and leaving behind most likely a black hole. But because of the distances involved here, even classifying this star or trying to figure out if it's an A star, B star or O-type star is currently beyond anyone's capabilities. As a matter of fact, the scientists don't even know if this is a single star or some sort of a binary. And the thing is, usually, at least in the vicinity of planet Earth and in our galaxy and nearby galaxies, these types of really massive stars do come with a companion, sometimes a binary star system, sometimes even a triple star system. And so, at least statistically speaking, it might be actually the case here as well. But this particular discovery is important for so many other reasons. For example, this is obviously a star that's going to help us learn more about what early stars were like and what the early universe was like as well. It will also help the scientists figure out exactly what happened during the reionization period and how the universe transformed into the universe that we live in today. But I guess more importantly, it might help us see if these stars from ancient times were similar to the stars we have today, or if they had entirely different composition and potentially even had slightly different cycles of life. Something that up until now was pretty much impossible to answer, but with the discovery of this star, we now will have so many different telescopes trying to get as much data from this location as possible and trying to figure out exactly what happened to the universe 12.9 billion years ago. But naturally, because this was just discovered not so long ago, it will take time to find out what exactly is happening here and whether the scientists can find something else in this particular lens by exploring some of the other objects as well. Until we discover something else, or until the scientists find something else about this particular object, that's pretty much everything I wanted to mention in this video. We'll definitely come back to this and talk more about this in some of the future videos, so make sure to subscribe and maybe share this with someone who loves learning about space and sciences. Maybe come back tomorrow to learn something else, maybe support this channel on Patreon by joining channel membership or by buying the Wonderful Person t-shirt you can find in the description. Either way, stay wonderful, I'll see you tomorrow, and as always, bye bye.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye, wonderful person.
Wonderful people.
I find it fascinating how they can look so deep into space with the Hubble, for example, and then what's the James Webb going to do when it's fully
Yeah,
functioning.
exactly. That's what I was going to say. Prepare for a lot more of that with James
yeah.
Webb. Yeah.
But
Few
they're
more
looking
months to
at
go,
this one
and it'll
for
be ready.
they're looking at this one for at least 3 years to see if there's any changes. So that just shows you what if James Webb's going to do the same thing, it might take a couple years. But they're going to decommission that one or something. If they said they're putting out a new one, or they're going to keep James, because James Webb can't last forever.
No, but it's going to be there for a few years.
Well, they're already at the design stage of something similar to James Webb, but much bigger. Mirror, far bigger, in fact. How that's going to develop, don't know. But but James Webb 2 is already being looked at. Yeah, so who knows?
Well, what answers is it giving? They said what to the formation of the universe, or how old the universe is, or how big it is,
all that,
or what's
all
in
that,
it.
All of it. Yeah, all of what you just said. Yeah.
Don't forget to do me clock. No, I don't worry about me clocks, John. I just wake up in the morning and then go around and change them all.
Oh, do your clocks go forward as well now, do they?
Forward or back? I forget.
Well, spring it's forward, isn't it? At least for us. Yeah. I guess it's the same.
Which way they got to go, Paul?
I
Go
can't
back.
remember.
Yeah, back.
Oh, you go back, do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're opposite to you, so if you go forward, we have to go
winter,
back.
isn't it? Yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry, talking gibberish. Yeah.
Yeah, you're underneath us, so we're on top.
Well, that might be true. Somebody is.
Somebody's on top of it right at this moment.
Yeah. It's like, I can't remember I don't know what Apollo mission it was, but they said when the LIM was moving away from the command module, and said, "You're upside down." I said, "Well, somebody is."
Somebody is.
No, we're not. You are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So when they landed on the moon, were they on top of the moon or on the bottom?
Always on the top.
Yeah.
They're on the side of it.
On the side of it, that's true. Yeah.
Hey.
Well,
They're on the side of it.
there was never didn't land on any of the poles, or at least not yet. Anyway.
I personally think that they'll waste a marvelous opportunity with James Webb, because I'm really afraid that they will never turn it around and show airplanes flying upside down over Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flurfers want that one. They want to see an
they
airplane
want
fly
James
upside
Webb,
down.
Yeah, they want.
Well,
James
they've
Webb
got to turn Hubble
pointing at
around.
the Earth.
Yeah.
They always demand that you turn Hubble around for that one.
Yeah.
If you could get it to focus, maybe, but not that
That's
close.
the problem. But James Webb's far enough away; it should be able to focus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just turn the James Webb back around towards this way. Don't worry about the sun. Oh shit.
Oh fuck that! Don't worry about this.
Or a big bright blue thing, that's just really close, like stone's throw distance away comparatively. What do you think you're going to see? A whole bod of red mess.
Yeah, and you'd have just
Well,
the telescope.
After all, I mean, if the thing's as good as they say it is, it ought to be able to look all the way around and see the other side, right?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, look at the sun. Yeah. Okay. Well, mind you, Webb apparently is going to have some time to actually track some of our own planets, our own solar system. Apparently, it has that capability.
Yeah.
What it's going to find, I don't know.
Just whatever's happening away from the sun.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Christ, they went to so much effort to protect it from the sun when they launched it, and it's tripped out to where it is now.
Yeah.
I want an image of the back of the sun. I'm sick of seeing the front of it.
Yeah, you want the back side.
Everybody wants it. Everybody wants to see what the back of it looks like.
The dark side of the sun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Terry Pratchett novel.
The Dark
He
Side
wrote
of the Sun.
he wrote 2 science fiction novels. One of them was called The Dark Side of the Sun.
The night side of the sun.
Yeah, the Night Side.
Yes, John, I do have that image tucked away.
Who was it? The flat earther that it's going back a while ago was talking about dark being an energy. Who? I can't remember who that was. Who was it? Yeah, darkness is an energy. I'll have to look back at the videos and see if we can find out who that was.
Oh, there's the Red Sea pedestrian going to sulk in his room.
Yep.
Because his mum's about to give a Roman a blowjob.
Come again?
Look at the TV that's behind Paul. It's showing. It was showing the Holy Grail. Now it's showing the life of Brian. Oh, there's the matinee performance in the Colosseum.
Oh,
Now
right.
I've
Okay.
shown somebody out in the Peanuts. I picked out this image from somewhere on one of those NASA sites or whatever.
Yes,
That's a high resolution one.
That's the correct blue marble photo. That's the orientation in which.
The right way up that I
Yes,
recently found out
yeah,
that I
that's the
didn't
right
know.
way up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where's
Because you can
Australia
even
around
see
there?
a little part of the spacecraft down on that sort of 4 o'clock position. There's a black speck there.
Right there.
There it is. Yep. That was part of what sort of went with them, I believe.
There you go.
I don't know how far I can zoom in on this one. Oh, not that far. I think it starts to get a bit
Wrong bit
grainy.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Doesn't-
mean, it's,
doesn't do
it's,
it very
it's a
good
high res
justice.
image, but it's not that. There you
Yeah,
go,
it's
that's
not
a
that
bit
good.
slow.
I mean, I
So
could
what-
still
sorry, I
can't
missed-
see. I still can't see
missed
planes
what-
flying upside down there.
No,
I missed what you were saying there. Was that what is that? Is that the service module?
No,
Not the service
that's-
module.
that's
The
just-
yeah. Go on.
Third
go ahead.
stage.
It's probably
that's the third stage.
Because of course, you know, they were very briefly in Earth orbit, and then the whole upper stage started its journey to the moon, and then of course they had to detach, turn around, blow the panels off, take the lunar module out. All of that stuff went with them to the moon.
Yeah. I totally forget because for a long time I thought the blue marble was originally taken on the way back from the moon rather than on the way
No,
to
it's
the
on the
moon.
way out.
And yeah, I always keep forgetting that. Always keep forgetting.
They weren't that many hours into the mission. I can't remember how many.
Yeah.
It was a handful of hours.
Yeah, that's right. It's clearly fake though, and you know how I know.
How?
You should be able to see. You should be able to see the shadow of the Apollo on the Earth there somewhere. I don't see any fucking shadow.
CGI in 1972. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, they forgot to put the damn shadow.
That's right. Yeah.
It's a bit weird, with NASA are hiding all these massive secrets, probably the greatest conspiracy on the world, the planet, but they make an awful lot of mistakes hiding it, don't they?
So apparently so.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes.
Very clumsy.
Yeah. So much so that it's the greatest conspiracy in the world. So much so that they're willing to kill 3 astronauts about it.
Yeah.
Because they were apparently about to reveal the truth on Apollo 1. Yeah. Or Roger Chaffee was apparently.
So you still got your production going for some content, Matt? You're saying?
Yeah. I'm planning a return video. It's kind of slightly unrelated to what I'm doing, and then a series which is something I've always wanted to do for a long time, but it's kind of a big thing, which I'm just going to do when I can do them. I want to go through, mostly about the manned missions, starting all the way from Gemini, all the way through to Apollo 17. Which is what I want to do. And then
What? Not the women ones?
What?
Not the women ones?
On the Mercury 13. I could talk about that. Yeah, why not?
Well, you said the manned missions. I'm just wondering, you can't.
Oh, the women ones. Oh,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, so okay. Sorry. Let me rephrase it. Crude missions. Then. Sorry.
Approved by humans.
I didn't take you for a feminist, Terry. Sorry.
No, I'm just catering for everybody out there. You got Judy out there.
He's doing a flip flop.
I'm doing a flip flop.
It is interesting though, because I could talk about the Mercury 13, which was women that actually went through the same selection process as the men.
Right. Okay.
And there's a very good YouTuber that did a book about that. Amy, I can't pronounce her name.
Well, one of them went up on one of those Blue Origin flights, didn't she?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
What was the name? It's sounded like a bloke's name, didn't it? Oh, can't remember who she was.
I can't remember her name.
But she was one of the Mercury 13. She'd done all the training.
Yeah.
You'll get fat, Paul, eating chips and then cheesels and what else you got laying
and then
around?
going to bed.
So yeah, I hope to. I'll talk about some of the unmanned tests as well. I'll just sort of mention them sort of in between and stuff like that. And so it's going to be quite a long series. So I'm going to split them up into 3 parts. So it would be sort of Mercury, Gemini, and then Apollo. Into sort of like 3 parts.
Well, if they're bite sized, we'll be showing them here.
Some of them would be bite sized. Some of them won't be. I think.
Okay.
Some of them be shorts. Yeah.
Because we've got a limit of 10 minutes or 17 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm hoping to achieve as well. It would just be like a brief summary of each mission, what happened and who was on it, and all those kind of details and stuff, and why it was happening, and because I mean, it's something that kind of occurred to me during lockdowns and stuff like that, was that with Apollo, Apollo wouldn't have happened without Gemini, and Gemini wouldn't have happened without Mercury. It all follows, and it's all very intrinsically linked. In fact, it goes back further than Gemini still, much further. If you look properly, Mercury wouldn't have happened if certain things hadn't happened, like World War II, for example.
Exactly, yeah.
If it wasn't for von Braun and stuff like that, we probably would never have had a space race.
And of course, a lot of the stuff that von Braun did was based on what the American Goddard did.
Yeah.
You just keep tracing it back and tracing it back and tracing it back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could even go further back. That's still the early people that were trying to develop liquid-fueled rocket engines. It goes back even further than that. But I think that would be probably a bit too far to do. But some stuff that's worth doing in the future. I just thought it would be interesting.
Yeah.
And
I've got a different attitude.
We can thank the Russians too, can't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. The Cold War, we might not have had a space race without Cold War. In fact, we wouldn't have done.
No.
Well, Australia had a big space program going back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
In Woomera.
Oh, we only had the Parkes telescopes, I thought, for the transmission data.
There was two sites in Australia, wasn't there? There was Parkes and Honeysuckle.
Woomera.
Honeysuckle Creek. Was it Honeysuckle? Yeah, it was Honeysuckle. Yeah, Australia were a very important part of that.
Yeah. And we have to thank America for the Skylab.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still want that back, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we sent the fine for littering. We're waiting for you to pay that. Oh, I've got a couple of videos left.
Yeah, let's squeeze them in.
Yeah. A quickie and one from Simon. Wow, that's loud.
Mm.
And I've got the volume turned down on my end.
Earth is a term that's been stolen, and of course, the reason we all say it's flat, is because the Earth tests and measures flat and motionless.
That's a lie.
It is a lie, and I take full responsibility for it.
Yes, very responsible.
Most people know this. Most Globers don't, even though their high priest told
Well,
them.
we don't know that.
Of course.
Why don't we know
Einstein
it?
told them the Earth measures motionless.
What? Am I holding a crock of shit?
Absolutely
Einstein
no
did he?
experiment you can ever do to show motion on the Earth. Einstein was clear.
Have you no shame?
Was he?
What? We can't do any experiment at all? Wow.
That shows motion, can't we? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You've got a lie to flirt.
I can't think where I've left it.
So my neighbor says to me, the burden of proof is on you, which of course he's wrong. I'm standing there telling him he's wrong, thinking he lives on a ball. The burden of proof is on me.
Stop moaning now. The moaning. It's the Nick, stop moaning.
No, you're the one with the wild, crazy. You guys can't see that it's wild and crazy and nuts because you've been told it so many times. Why is the burden of proof on me?
Will I get over it? No. But life goes on.
The burden of proof is not on me. However, I said, I accept the challenge. Oh, yay! Went out, got a nice big old piece of cardboard box, took a bunch of dirt, made a nice model in there, made a mountain, made a little lake, filled up a pitcher of water, walked over to his house with the model and a jug of water.
He walked over with a box
And I
of dirt.
dumped the water over the mountain, slowly and gently. It finds the little creek I had pre-carved out of the mountain, runs down the creek. Some of it goes in other directions. Right down the hill, over the waterfall, into the low spot, where it settled, and it lay flat and level.
Ooh, okay. Didn't see that one coming.
And I said, I just
Flat and
demonstrated to you how water works in reality, the reality that we live in.
We? I. The royal we.
It will run downhill until it finds containment. And if left unagitated, it will then seek and find its level, at which point it will remain flat, level, and motionless until agitated.
Level with what?
I've only dreamed
Oh, well.
I would hear you say something like that.
So what I just showed you, folks, whether you can digest it or not, is 100% a conclusive way to prove that the Earth is not a ball. It is conclusive.
Why? Because it's science, that's why.
Well, that's an undeniable proof then.
A bunch of dirt.
I'm convinced, aren't you? Blue, are you convinced by that argument? I think it's very convincing.
Yeah, I don't think we can debunk that.
A box of dirt. I'm convinced.
I'm convinced
I
of
can't-
something.
Can't help but believe that guy must be related to Richard Dreyfuss somehow.
Yes, good point. Yeah.
John, you don't have to put $1 in the swear jar for shit.
Oh, shit's allowable, is it? You can
Yeah.
say shit.
Yeah, you can say shit.
What about the F word? You're allowed
No,
to
you
say
can't
that?
say the F word
Or the C word?
or the C word.
What? Condescending? Can't say condescending.
No, it's a 4-letter C word.
Oh, that one.
Cake.
Cake.
No, that's so
Yeah. Cake. Yeah, that's it. And the other 4-letter.
Oh, cool.
The other 4. Yeah, cool too. You can't say cool.
Can't say cool. You just said it. It was pound and swear jar.
You can say cool, but you can't say cool whip.
Oh, okay.
Cool quip.
And the other F word we don't say that's 4 letters is Ford.
Not allowed to say Ford either. Well, you just said that one too.
What's wrong with Ford? I drive a Ford.
Me too. Mush, mush. Shame.
Harry,
Yeah.
press play.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, I had a back and forth with a Mr. Thrive and Survive. Now, this is him if you don't remember him or if you've not seen him before.
Yes, his arguments are not scientific. They're ad hominem. He's stupid. What was it? Stupid as a man jar, whatever it is. Must be a British term.
Yeah, it's Marmite, Rich, not man. Can't even get that one right. Well, it appears that he is still getting eclipses wrong, even after all this time. Dear, oh dear.
He's getting wrong, he's an idiot.
Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Right, as I said at the start, the Flat Earther Mr. Thrive and Survive apparently has absolute proof of NASA's lies. This should be interesting.
Okay, let's look at this ridiculousness one last time in the heliocentric model and show unequivocally that this is 100% impossible in their model. Let's take a look at what they show us all the time, and then we're going to take a look at what can be mathematically proven to make this impossible. So when we look at the lunar eclipse, and all you have to do is Google it, and you're going to see, say, a lunar eclipse diagram. And what you'll end up with is different diagrams, but they pretty much look like this.
Now, Mr. Thrive and Survive has a real problem with eclipses and has been a subject of several videos of mine through the years, all of which exposes his unreal misunderstandings when it comes to solar and lunar eclipses.
And the fallacy of this happens to be that they are showing a sun which is huge, but not to scale. I'd say they're showing it about 2.5 times the size of the Earth.
No.
And they're showing it extremely
Yeah. We wouldn't even see them on there. What did you say the other day, Farmer? It'll be a tiny speck or even a pixel, the Earth, if you try to put the Earth there.
Dan actually says that in just a moment, and in a moment he says something along the lines of, the Earth is 4 times, the sun is 4 times the size of the Earth, apparently, or something like that. It's like, yeah, okay.
Close. In fact, the moon is just barely closer than the sun.
Now, of course, for the purposes of a diagram, it would be absolutely impossible to show what happens to scale because of the vastness of the solar system. Because of the size of the paper, the sun would be a tiny dot, and the Earth and Moon you wouldn't even be able to see. It's specifically done this way to highlight the celestial physics going on when we talk about eclipses.
In any case, let's look at the fallacy of this and dismiss this for the last time. If the flat Earth community were to come out with a diagram like this to show something with the flat Earth, there would literally be dozens of comments below stating you're not showing it to scale. It's a trick you're using because if you do it to scale, you'll see it turns out right. And there would be videos by the Professor and Marianne and Simon Dan and others who will never try things themselves to see if they're actually right or wrong.
Ah, yes, indeed. We probably would be calling you up on stuff like that. The reason being, though, is that we don't need to do this on our own to find out if we're right or wrong. It's an established fact, Mr. Thrive and Survive. The science has been done countless times by multiple space agencies and institutions. But of course, the beauty of all of that is that you actually can do it yourself if you really want to. Next month, I'll be figuring out the size of the sun using a shoebox, for example.
Well, let's get into it and take a look. And look at this. That's what I want you to notice first. And wait till you see the angles that they use. They use the satanic angles even in their stupid diagrams. So they're showing what I have here as the angles. Yellow lines. And that is the sun rays coming from the top of the sun. Why this is wavy and the others are straight, I have no idea. And by the way, if you search science, you'll find out that the photons, whether you think they travel in a wave or not, they will travel in a straight line in space. They don't disperse because there's nothing to disperse. There's no medium. So whatever angle they come out of the sun, they just go forever until they're interrupted or until at some distance there is no more energy left. Now,
so what exactly is your problem then, Thrive? The sun's rays radiate out in all directions. So essentially each ray is emitted at a certain angle. By the time they reach our Earth, because of the huge distance they've travelled, the angular difference between two rays is incredibly, incredibly small. So for all intents and purposes, they are considered to be parallel. I don't understand why this is an issue for him. Obviously, the lines are only drawn on the diagram like that to show the path of the sun's light in the areas that matter during eclipse. Now, obviously, the sun's light radiates everywhere else as well.
We have the moon during a lunar eclipse is its normal grayish white self. When it gets into the penumbra, which is this grayer area here, is when it actually either turns black or very close to black. And when the moon gets right to about there, that line, that's when you first start to see a little teeny sliver start to turn darker on the moon. And it usually is pretty dark, close to black.
That is not true. When the moon is in the penumbra, it is still being illuminated by the sun, just not all of the sun. The Earth's shadow doesn't appear on the moon's surface until the moon enters the umbra part, which is that small dark area in the middle.
And as the moon moves into this, and by the way, in their model, this is pretty accurate, because by the time the moon moves around, they have to have all these angles, and the umbra has to be this thick for it to work, because this is a process that takes quite a bit of time, relatively speaking. Most lunar eclipses are about 6 hours or so in totality, from start to finish. Now, so to produce the umbra, which is this right here, is these wavy lines hitting the outside of the Earth, and of course they go down then, and it causes a red moon. We're not going to get into the stupid reason why they say it's red, but it's a stupid reason.
All of a sudden, Mr. Thrive and Survive doesn't care about refraction of light. What would you say to a kid if he asks you, why is the sunset red? Oh, don't worry, it's a stupid reason.
And then, but what causes this penumbra? Well, the penumbra is caused, we got the first two lines, right? The penumbra is caused by these other lines, which here you're going to see is somewhere between 20 and 25 degrees. And we're going to look at the angle of these two. You're not going to believe it. So this is the way that goes. From the top of the sun, it crisscrosses in front of the Earth, and that causes this penumbra. The others, which don't crisscross, but they happen to strike at the Earth at this angle, cause this umbra, and then it comes out in the penumbra on the other side.
You're worrying way too much about those lines, Thrive and Survive. This diagram here goes a little bit of a way in showing how it really looks without those lines. Look at the shadows being cast by the different celestial bodies.
Now, I'm going to, let me see if I can do this, just a moment. Now what I've done is I have expanded the screen to the right so you can see the angles as I click on these lines right here. Now these lines, what they are, let me find something here so I can show you. I started out from parallel. So I took a line and I dropped it on like this, top of the sun, and I just moved it out parallel. And I did the same thing at the bottom. So that's about parallel there. And then I applied over here what degree angle, and you ready for this? Watch. I'm going to apply this to it. Minus 6.6 degrees. Watch what happens to that top line. Oh, it matches.
But these images aren't to scale, Mr. Thrive and Survive. All of this is just arbitrary. And surely he knows that those two yellow lines on the images are just two single rays. Rays come out of the sun at all different angles, as we've already discussed. They just use those two lines to simulate the blocking of the sun's light by the Earth.
And this bottom line right here is also, as you can see over here, minus 6.6 degrees, 66.
Which of course will be different on different images of the illustration of these eclipses.
Even in their satanic, well, we know it's satanic now, even in their diagrams they have to use the satanic numbers. And it's not done here.
Oh, the mind boggles. I simply cannot wait.
Since when is 6.6 a satanic number?
That's interesting.
Since when?
And again, I did the same thing with these bluish type of lines here, these aqua colored lines. I started them out parallel at the top of the sun, parallel at the bottom of the sun, and now I just applied an angle over here. So let's see what angle got me to match their diagram.
Okay, pause the video right here and lock your guess in the comments, people.
Let's click on this one here. 23.4 degrees. Does that sound familiar? Take 90 and subtract 23.4, because 90 is parallel. You get 66.6.
Oh my days, you don't. What on earth?
And the top one, of course, it matches. Minus 23.4, 66.6 degrees. How about that? Isn't that interesting?
No.
Now, another thing I want to point out before we
not
move
really.
on here. Now, put a box here just so you can see it more easily. If angle A, which is where they crisscross, must equal angle C when it comes out the other side.
Well, at least he knows that.
So it's 23.5 degrees going in and 23.5 degrees going out. I hope that makes sense. So here's graph paper.
Going
what I
in
did
and out,
was
is it?
I
Okay.
did everything to scale the way they say it is. And every one little block one here is equal to 1 million miles. So let's zoom in and see what I did with the starting point. I have the front of the sun just touching this line right here. So that's the 0 mile mark.
Where is he going with this?
And then each box represents 5 million miles. So you have 0, 5 million, 10 million, 15. It's not, I didn't do every five. You can figure it out. 20 million, all the way out until we get to 93 million. And by the way, to scale, you wouldn't even see this little line right here.
Exactly.
At all.
I think at that scale, you wouldn't see the Earth or Moon at all.
Where the thickened line is, because I just wanted to point out where 93 million miles was located, and where this line crosses represents where the Earth is. If you put the actual diameter of the Earth on here, I would have to magnify this probably 5 or 6 more times before we'd even see a little speck.
Okay, so he's happy that the scale is small. Brilliant.
So keep that in mind. And because the line is so thin, it's actually positioned in the middle, but when I made it thin enough, as thin as I can make it and still show, it shrunk it down from the top down. So it's just a little off of dead center from where the sun is located, dead center. Now keep in mind also that a quarter of a million miles is where the moon is. So it would be only 1/4 of the box back from where the Earth intersects this line. So
great, thanks. I think we get it. Can we move on to your point, please?
Very, 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 very close in this scale. So let's back this out. Now let's look at the ridiculousness of all of this. So I started with one line, this purple line here. You can see it starts at the center of the sun, and it proceeds to go to the center of the Earth, right there. And like I said, this line, the violet line here, the purple line, it's thicker. So imagine if the Earth line was thicker, it would be dead on, you know what, accurate. Now let's take a look. Let me click on this line, and over to the right, you can see there's the angle, 0 degrees.
Please do not tell me he's going to do what I think he's going to do.
Which means this is how many degrees off of parallel. Now, if you do a Google search, 9 out of 10 results, if you say, what angle do sunlight rays strike the Earth? They will say 90 degrees. If you get one that's very detailed, they will give you even more. And if you do the mathematics and you find a site that actually gives you the mathematics, it's about 0.14 degrees off of parallel. So 89.86 degrees.
As we discussed earlier.
Is what the sunlight strikes the Earth at from that distance. And you can use the Pythagorean theorem to figure that out yourself. You know, the one part of the triangle is 93 million miles away. And then you can figure the height of the sun, which is 800. Oh, yeah, let me show you the sun. It takes up 80% of the box, as close as I could get it to 80% of the box, because it's 800-some thousand miles in diameter.
865,000 to be precise.
So this is actually to scale. Now let's see how ridiculous their model is. Now I'm going to apply 1 degree. 1 degree off of parallel. And you see it stayed on the sun. It started, because I started the line from the sun, it'll apply that angle. And, oops.
Yep, he's done it. He's done the absolute classic flat earther move. There isn't just one ray of light coming from the sun. There are billions and billions. Now, taking into account that only 1/1 billionth of the sun's energy output actually strikes the Earth's surface, then we can assume that most of the sun's rays miss the Earth. But of all the rays that are emitted, quite a lot do hit the Earth's surface. And as discussed, because they come from such a long way away, by the time they reach Earth, they can be considered to be parallel. What Thrive and Survive has done here is picked one ray that's emitted from the centre of the sun at an angle of 1 degree. That ray would miss Earth, of course, but equally there could be a ray emitted from north of the equator on the sun that's angled towards Earth, and from countless other areas of the sun that, when you add them all up, blanket the Earth in sunshine. I cannot believe that Mr. Thrive and Survive has done this and considered it a win. I am totally done today. Seriously. Well, there we go. That is all for today. Another Flat Earth Friday done and dusted. I do hope you enjoyed it. Always love looking back at Mr. Thrive and Survive. Maybe he'll do something else on eclipses soon. But for now, if you did enjoy it, then please do consider subscribing to the channel. If you really enjoyed it, then hit that like button as well. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday, where we're going back to look at Standing for Truth. See you then.
Poor old Rich. Totally clueless.
Why can't we ever get that S word through their heads about things? Like, I know he tried to do it to scale, but he's not thinking of how light actually works.
No.
Why do they still keep insisting that light needs a medium to travel through? Why do they still keep?
Because
well, they have to, don't they?
Yeah.
Let's face it, they have to. Otherwise it all falls apart if they don't. Of course, the ether. It has to have an ether. It must be an ether. Light needs something to travel through.
Yeah. Rich gets off on these
yeah.
eclipse tangents about once a year for some reason. And he always screws it up every time.
Every time, yeah.
He's been live a couple of times, I've noticed.
Can't be any worse than Riley saying that and then actually put money down on it to say that we should have an eclipse every single month. Remember that?
Yeah. He never did play that, did
Oh,
he?
yeah.
No, he never did play that, no.
Well, there is an eclipse all the time, somewhere.
I did a video on Thrive and Survive a long time ago. Screwing this up. And I actually drew the damn thing to scale.
That's right.
For real. And it works perfectly, obviously.
Oh, yes.
I like that model that Dan put in his video, the showing the actual shadows and stuff. That was really effective. That was really good.
That's quite a good demonstration, that, wasn't it?
I'll have to find out where Dan got that from. I'll ask him.
How are we going for time?
Son was asking about eclipses the other day, funny enough.
Yeah?
Yeah. To find that.
Well, it's getting late over
They all mess it up.
Wouldn't have mind playing that video, but a bit late now. Oh, don't mind me, I'm just typing me goodbyes out in the chat.
Really hope.
And I made a spelling mistake.
Yes,
It's the
light
D's
way it
next to
works
the
is a common
S's.
source of misconception for flat earthers, isn't it?
Isn't it just? But then, you know, it's these sorts of ignorance and lack of understanding that leads them to be a flat earther in the first place.
Yeah.
If they understood how everything works, they wouldn't be a flat earther.
Something that occurred to me the other day, and it was a friend of mine. Her name's Katie. Now she left school without any qualifications because she's highly dyslexic and a few other development problems. Although you would never think so, because she's quite eloquent in the way she speaks. You know, she doesn't come across as if she's you know, not intelligent. But I got a phone call from her boyfriend and said, "Oh, she thinks the Earth is flat," and it really only took a conversation that probably lasted about, I don't know, half an hour. Just talked about basics of Earth rotation, the tilt of the Earth, the orbit of the Earth around the sun, you know, and various things like that. And then all it took, and then after that, she was just convinced. But it occurred to me that, you know, flat earthers are kind of dangerous in a lot of ways, because those people are going to get convinced by their arguments. Because, you know, she is a little bit gullible, which is understandable. You know, she can't help it; it's not her fault. You know, and I think this is probably one of the reasons why we kind of do this, because we want to kind of keep people educated, I guess. Or, you know, like especially what Blue does and things like that, and the way he explains things, and Dan explains things and stuff. You know.
Yeah, but if you've got that conspiracy type mindset, psychological, when you get down to it, yeah, that doesn't take much convincing for people like that to.
She doesn't. Well, she doesn't have a conspiracy mindset. She doesn't. I mean, her boyfriend does believe in a few different conspiracies. He doesn't think the Earth is flat, but he has got that mindset. But he doesn't think the Earth is flat. She hasn't, you know, she finds it difficult to grasp things. Like I said, highly dyslexic and a few other educationally development issues. You know, it's just so she's kind of open to that kind of thing because she sees that argument as convincing.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't know that they're getting things horribly wrong.
It is hard to break down to a bit more basic level to explain to some flirters, because they come at you with their rhetoric and everything, and then when I hear people over on Gems or Geos or whatever, and they'll come at them from a too high a level, which is like flooding a person, flooding their mind with, and a person goes, "No, you know, you're lying. You know, what are you talking about?" You know, and they'll pick out a word or something that you say and start arguing with definitions, and it's just never ending.
And at the end of it, she said, "You should be a teacher." And I said, "Well, no, not really. I just got an understanding of things." And she said, "Well, you know, you've explained it in such a way that I can understand it." And that's what I had to do, because I knew what she was. I just explained it as if I was explaining it to an 8-year-old, really, to be honest with you. It was just basic stuff, you know, the tilt of the Earth, rotation, orbit around the, you know, orbit around the sun, why we have seasons, and yada yada yada, and that was it, really. She was fine with it.
Yeah,
it made sense after that.
8-year-old level is pretty advanced for some of these people.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I do this quite regularly. When I hear something stupid on YouTube from flat earthers, and I quite often would go to my son just to sort of see how he grasps it. I mean, sometimes he's not quite got it right, but there's certain things like scale that he understands, he gets it, and he's 11. And a lot of flat earthers, grown-ass adults, just don't seem to get it or don't want to. And it's a bit of both, actually. They don't get it and they don't want to get it. And you know, because what we were talking about was the basics of parallax and why scale of distance matters when you're talking about changes of angles and all that kind of stuff. And he got it, he grasped it, he understood it. You know?
Yeah, well, with my
11 years old.
With my level of it,
all it should take just is one simple viewing of Father Ted, and that should take care of it. Small.
This is close and far away.
Far away.
Yeah. Small.
So all I did was
away.
all I did with my son. I said, right, okay, you stand out and you out of the back garden there. Stick a bean pole right in front of you. Stick it in the ground. Stand right in front of it, half a meter away. Take one step to your left and one step to your right. You know, how much are you going to have to change? You know, move your head to keep looking at the pole. And he said, oh yeah, quite a bit. I'm going to have to move my head. And I said, oh great, okay. Now go right to the other end of the garden. Do the same thing. How much are you turning your head? Is it less or more? And he thought about it for a second. He said, yeah, I'm having to turn my head a lot less. Great. I said, well, okay, now go right the way down to the other street. Now do the same thing again. Step to the left, step to the right. Are you having to turn your head very much? He said, hardly at all. And I said, brilliant. I said, now go even further back. Imagine you can still see the beanpole, say about a mile away. Step to your left, step to your right. How much are you turning your head? He said, nah, probably won't have to at all, Dad. Bingo.
I tried the same. I tried the same thing. I tried the same thing with my kids, but they found their way home anyway. Damn it!
Yeah, very good.
Oh,
but like if an 11-year-old boy can get it, why don't these grown-ass adults get scale? I don't know.
I find it interesting because I did less than a lot of you guys on the panel for schooling. And from what I've learnt in listening, like a lot of it's like logic, the way you explain it. And if to think the Earth is not the shape of what it is, there's just too many observations that we do in our daily lives, or even experiments that we can do that I've seen, that disprove a shape other than flat.
Yeah. Like that idiot we just had on and said that there's no experiments that you can do that can possibly show rotating and moving Earth.
Exactly.
Really?
Exactly.
Really?
Exactly.
There's a lot you can do.
And then they misquote Einstein.
Yeah.
Well, after Cavendish experimented for gravity, well, that's nothing else you can say. I know I'm wrong. And the torsion balance on your big balls. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody does have one of the most complete misunderstandings of the world around him, of anyone that you'll ever run across. Yeah. You really have to work at it to get that much wrong.
Yeah.
But Zebulon, do you know what the moon is? We can play your flat Earth games. Well, we better get going. It's a bit late over here for us Aussies. Paul needs his beauty sleep, so we'll see him next week.
Yeah, I do. We've got new Harvard students coming on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Another 5,000, so.
Yeah. Well, thanks Otto Harm, John Stock, Farmer's Boy, Mr. Big Blue, and Space Matt M2M, or Matt B M2M.
Welcome. That's all right. You can carry on. Call me Space Matt. I don't care.
Oh yeah, I know. Because you like space, and your name's Matt. So and Space Matt like a mat that you wipe your feet on.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one before. Welcome, Matt. Beer, Matt. Oh, it's very fun.
No, you're a Space Matt.
Space Matt. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay.
That's okay. That's all good. Well, thanks, Glober Mum, Wolf, Zebulon. Who else do we have out there? Stevie B, Glober Mum, John Stock. John Rapp as well out there. Who else? Oh, there's a Farmer's Boy out there. Hey, Farmer's Boy.
What am I doing out there?
I don't know. I've just seen out there. Judy. Elmigs. Oh, Blue Marble Science. Oh. I have to watch these videos one day. Who else is there? Oh, Cursed with high IQ too.
That's me.
Are you cursed? Or you got
I
high?
am.
Or you? Okay. We can break the curse. I know you can see someone about that. Trying to Tiny Captain. Judy, I said Judy. You get 2 shout-outs. Anamorphic Mind. Oh, Facty was there earlier too.
You could put me in a room full of flat earthers to bring the average down to normal.
Spooky. Carl. Oh, there's an M2M out in the side chat. Okay. Oh, is it worth me joining, or are you close to finishing up? No, we're finishing up now. M2M.
Yeah, don't join now, Matt. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Not worth it. Is it? Okay, I won't bother then.
Yeah, we're finishing up now. Sean Hawkins. Why's Sean Hawkins' name in capital letters? He's shouting his name to us.
He does that.
Extra large. Somebody got a spanner tonight too. I don't know who that was now. I can't remember.
Charlie.
Oh, Charlie, that's right.
Charlie got a spanner.
Yeah.
Little Wolf.
Oh yeah, Little Wolf was there earlier. Yeah, I can't scroll any further up now. I've missed all those other names that were there earlier. I think, was Clive there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Anyone see Clive out there earlier? Oh, that's Sean's way of getting attention, Glebe, Mum says. Yeah. Oh well. No, you don't have to do things to get attention. You get attention naturally.
Or get detention.
Alright. I think we've done our bit.
Good night, Peanuts.
Yeah, night panel. Good night, Peanuts.
Not Peanuts.
Good night.
Night, Peanuts.
Okay, what do I press here to get rid of everyone?